Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? Well, the Super Bowl halftime show does exactly that. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest ever in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centrepiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first edition of the Super Bowl was held in 1967 when the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Los Angeles. Because of the sheer size of the event, organisers wanted to put on entertainment at halftime for the fans in the stadium. It was a display of marching bands, dancers and pure USA patriotism, and that was the theme that followed for years. In the 1980s, the Walt Disney Company got involved and we started seeing some interesting and questionable displays. But we got our first glimpse of halftime shows to come in '93 when none other than Michael Jackson stunned fans with his 15-minute medley of his own smash hits. When he walked out on stage, he had to wait for the crowd's cheers to die down for about 2 minutes before even starting his first song. Diana Ross, Gloria Estefan, Phil Collins all starred in their own shows, as did Aerosmith, who performed alongside NSYNC. Things got a little bit out of hand in 2004 when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson produced perhaps the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction in history. Shows from the likes of Prince, Lady Gaga and Beyoncé are considered by critics as the best. To give you an idea of the scale of things, Rihanna's 2023 halftime show included roughly 800 people. These ranged from backing dancers to stage crew to camera operatives broadcasting to millions around the world. The whole stage for that show was built in roughly 8 minutes and was broken down and cleared away in the same time. The acts perform for free nowadays, even though the experts reckon it costs around $13 million to put on Rihanna's show. Artists know they'll rocket up the charts in the following weeks. Rihanna's average sales improved by 140% in the months following her performance. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Good morning, very nearly 6:05. It is Tuesday, December the 16th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me.
How are you, swallowing, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was a bit restless during the course of the night, but
So was I, mate.
it was the excitement of what had gone before. Rangers winning that game against Hibs.
That's my boy.
There was
That's my boy.
Man United Bournemouth, I think, was on elsewhere. How did that finish? Was that...
I've got no idea, mate. As you saw, I couldn't take my eyes off my iPad for the big one.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which puts us 3 points behind Celtic and I think 8, I don't know how many behind Hearts.
Yeah, you're the form team in the division, aren't you?
We are. We are. Remarkably we are. I don't know whether that's telling you a bit about the division at this moment in time. But no, I mean, we were in there last night and obviously got my iPad on and with the game on in the background. What about that game that we had on in the background, actually, or the foreground, whatever you want to look at it?
Yeah.
It was remarkable.
Yeah, no, it was.
Some of the defending had me scratching my head. Some of the goalkeeping had me scratching my head, but you couldn't take your eyes off.
Look, it was great for the neutral, great entertainment. If you're a manager,
Oh my goodness.
Ruben Amorim, or indeed Andoni Iraola, you must have been tearing your hair out.
Oh, United could have been 3 up in the first,
Easily.
whatever it was.
Brilliant in the first 35 minutes,
Weren't they?
something like that.
Weren't they?
And then Petrovic, I thought, threw both of the goals in the first half. I thought he was to blame for both of them. I mean, he was obviously to blame for the second one.
Do you know, oh my, I shouldn't be laughing. But the second one was that bad. We'll probably not get a chance to talk about that until about 10:15. I mean, the first one until about 10:15 because, I mean, dear me, that set. I mean, Casemiro's header, Jeff. I mean, that cannot go in the back of the goal. It's impossible for that to get in the back of the goal. It's in theory. I mean, he just kind of palms it. And the first one, I'm with you. The first goal, a little fella eventually knocks it in on the line, but
that ball in, you've got to come and wipe out whoever's in front of you, whatever the consequences are.
And then,
but look, people are praising Manchester United, and I get that. Great to watch in many respects, but you are not going to win any games if you're conceding 4.
No chance. None at all. And then, to be honest with you, I mean, there's some brilliant goals towards the end of the game. There was some fantastic goals. I mean, Fernandes' free kick, which should never have been a free kick, incidentally, the wonderful strike of the ball. Yeah. Wonderful strike of the ball. I mean, it was just, you could not take your eyes off it. Remember, it went to 3 each. You and I went, this isn't finished. 4-3, this isn't finished. 4 each.
And it might easily have not been finished then because, Brooks had a couple of good attempts.
Surprises me how he doesn't start.
I know. It really does. But, when we talk about Manchester United and they're defending 2-1 up at half-time, actually. Yeah. First half, they'd utterly dominated.
I thought they were great.
Utterly dominated.
You're right.
But Ruben Amorim thinks that is where they lost the game.
Yes, it was a fun game for everyone at home. Not so fun for the managers. I think we started really well. I think we lost. If you look at the game, you think that we lost 2 points in the second half. I think we lost 2 points in the first half. We create so many chances to control the game, and then to suffer a goal like that, it should be a different result to half time. And then the second half, a little bit like Nottingham. We didn't start the way we should start a game, but we get back to the game. We turn things around again, and in one throw in our favour, we allow a transition from the opponent. So I think if you look at the last games at home, some details we had everything to win the games, but some details we managed to lose a lot of points.
I thought he looked pretty devastated after the game, having watched the aftermatch interview.
Well, no, you're not wrong, mate. I mean, I was looking at him in the touchline. You're spot on. You got to feel for the coaches sitting watching that because they, I mean, as you correctly say, from our point of view, I was loving it. And then remember at the end, Jeff, they stuck up. Was it 9 minutes? What, the 8 minutes they stuck up? And I thought, you're beauty, we're going to get more of this.
Yeah.
But if you're a coach or a manager watching your team defending like that, I thought both teams effectively at one point were defensively, man, all over the place.
Oh, yeah. They were all. I think one thing you can take away from that game is that Amorim will never start with a back three of Euro, Heaven and Luke Shaw again. And if he does, then questions have got to be asked.
No. I mean, what about the big fella knocking him across to block? Was it Semenyo's goal? Heaven. I mean, he's. I was actually, I couldn't believe what I was watching. They come down the right hand side. He's got to come across. Yeah. I know he's worried about what's behind him. I get that. But the bigger problems in front of him, you've got to deal with the bigger problem, right? And the biggest problem at that particular time was ahead of him coming in from his left back position because Shaw wasn't getting back, and I can't remember who else wasn't getting back. It was Mason Mount.
Yeah, but Mason Mount, he's telling Shaw, who is chugging back towards his position. There's no sprint to try and get back in there. Okay, he may have felt that it's too far away from him to do anything about it.
You got to get back.
But
Heaven's got to get across as well, man. I literally couldn't believe my eyes. And then from then on in, it was a free for all. It was just a free for all.
And by the way, Dean, I don't understand the first part of your text, but thank you very much indeed. This time in the morning, Semenya didn't grab Dallo by the throat, in my opinion. He touched him vaguely.
No.
It's not a red card. The referee got it absolutely spot on.
And I understand, by the way, why he was angry. You can't condone his reaction. Get up back in, because he could have really gave himself a sore one there. Dallo bent into him, and he's got no control in mid-air, and he could have broken an arm. He could have really gave himself a sore one. So I can understand his frustration. Can't understand his reaction. I can't accept his reaction.
In fairness, Dean, I apologise. I do understand now. Because I'm trying to think of Ghana. He's talking about. Can you tell me the difference between Ghana? It's Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Yep.
Waving his hands towards Keane, of course, is his teammate, and getting a red card, and Semenyo grabbing Dallo by the throat. Well, the answer is, Dean, it was ludicrous that Idrissa Gana Gueye was sent off for that.
Yeah.
It was a ridiculous decision.
Agreed.
So, neither
were reds.
Now, we always like to start with something daft, so here we go. On the sports bar last night, you can always rely on that for something daft. We were taking your calls. It seems the excitement of the game may have led to one or two United fans completely losing the plot.
10 points off top. It's still before Christmas. You never know.
Never know what? Never know what? Hold on. Whoa. You're not challenging for the title, are you?
Well, you never know. Arsenal go.
No, come on. Tom.
No, come on, James.
No, Tom.
James.
Tom.
Why not, James? Why not?
It's just who we are, mate.
Sorry, have you just taken pills that have just completely erased your memory over the last 3 hours?
I haven't taken anything, James, but I know it wasn't good today, but the signs were there. Still scored 4. If we shore up that defence...
No, sorry, Tom. Are you saying that Manchester United can still win the title?
James, you know what? I am saying that, but no...
You conceded 26 goals in 16 games.
26? Is that it? Oh, mate, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound too good, Jason.
Excellent.
No,
nothing like some hard, cold facts.
Yeah, the boys...
to bring some sense to the caller.
Well, what's not so daft is, despite that performance, top 4 place is still up for grabs. That's for sure.
Aye, I wouldn't disagree with that.
You'd have to erase that defensive performance from your mind.
Yeah, I would have to say, Jeff, I would be very, very surprised. I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't rule it out, but I wouldn't be putting any money on it.
Yeah, 2 points out of 9 at home as well is not great. And, of course, they're going to have to do... A lot of teams have got to do without players, but big players for them, Brian Mbeumo and Amad Diallo in particular, Mazraoui as well, off to the African Cup of Nations. And it's going to remove a lot of their threat. I think there's no doubt about that.
Of course.
The burden on Cunha is going to be enormous, frankly.
I thought, I know he scores his goal, but I thought he was quieter.
A lot of people have been praising him, but I thought he looked until his goal, and which was provided to him on a plate by the Bournemouth defending. I thought he looked like he just lacked a bit of confidence.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to look at it again, and I thought he kind of turned his back at the free kick as well. He turned it for Tavernier's free kick. Was it Tavernier's free kick?
Yeah. Well, he's going to be the main man. That is for sure in an attacking sense now, as far as Ruben Amorim and Manchester United fans are concerned. Look, United fans, give us a call this morning.
Please do.
What did you make of last night? Do you think that they're in the title race? You might. Can you be happy with conceding 4 goals at home? 03717 223344. Let us know. Coming up, we head to the back pages. It's all about Ben Stokes urging his players to show a bit of dog in the third test that gets underway tonight. Poodle? This is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me, and that piece of musical magic was the great Kylie Minogue.
Yep.
With her Christmas song XMAS. Are you going to rush off and download that?
No, I won't be. However, I like wee Kylie.
Oh.
You got to love wee Kylie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had her on. We did that chat show for years. Fred McCauley and I, and she came up and came on it. Believe it or not.
No, she didn't.
I'm telling you right now. By the way, you'll have to make this up. We managed to get Kylie Minogue to Largs to come on our chat show.
Brilliant.
Honestly. And I need to tell you, she was a superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Lovely. You won't believe this either, but Paul Merson once asked her for a date.
You're joking. You're joking.
They were at an event together. Merce will tell you it's true. They were at an event together. And he thought, well, he was playing at the time, you know. He thought, why not? Anyway, her security staff saw him up.
Good old Merce. It's true. Good old Merce.
Right, let's take a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
And Sam Quake's back with us. Hi, Sam.
Sam, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I love that song was called XMAS.
Yeah, what's it about, do you think?
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well, thank you very much. Back pages dominated by that crazy game last night, United against Bournemouth. It's flipping crazy at United. 4-4 few. Thoughts on it really, because now Amarin back under pressure. It feels like he's under pressure one week and then he gets a bit of breathing space, but now he's back under pressure about how Man United went in at half-time 2-1 up and of course had 3 leads brought back by Bournemouth. So yeah, crazy game, enjoyable for the neutral, but United fans clearly frustrated.
Well, they would be, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, Jill, who's a United fan, regular contributor, says, morning, Jeff Ali. I'm still in shock. Started off elated with us going forward, ended up shouting at the TV for the worst defending ever.
That might be a bit spot on,
Yeah.
Jill. That
Nails
might
it.
be- yeah.
She says, P.S. top 5 possibly. Is that spot on as well?
Better chance than top 4, Jill.
I mean, do United need questions, obviously, about the defence? And can you look at this as a positive when you look at the stats, what United achieved last night in terms of the numbers? I mean, you've got 25 shots, 9 on target, 3.27 expected goals.
Well, Bournemouth had 9 on target as well.
Yeah, but when you look at the opportunity, but then they had 14 shots, 9 on target, which is a great turnaround. Yeah. But when you're looking at Bournemouth against Man United, the expectation of Manchester United, and everybody's questioning them attacking, you can't really question the numbers, but on the defending side, big problems.
Yeah, the only numbers you can question is 4-4.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I'm just trying to make it positive for the United fans.
I don't blame you.
It was exciting going forward from both sides. But if I'm a Manchester United fan, particularly in the second half, they're great in the first half. The second half, we looked at it time and time again. Bournemouth players would pick up the ball on the halfway line or just inside their own half. They would just run away from the Manchester United midfield. It was scary, I thought. Straight to the heart of that.
Couldn't take my eyes off it, Sam, I must admit. I've got to say, some of the quality of finishing. Young lad, Krupp at the end. What a goal, man.
Yeah.
And what a flip as well.
I was going to say, it's arguable whose was the best goal, but there's no question about whose was the best celebration.
Yeah.
And that was Krupp. It was just amazing.
It was great, wasn't
Did you celebrate like that when you scored?
No, I know I'd have broke if I'd have taken.
Doing yourself an injury.
Hey, but it was a fantastic.
Wasn't it great? He takes a brilliant touch, perfect touch to hit the next movement. Beautiful lift.
Here's a question. People are saying by far the best Premier League game of the season. I'm going to argue that because I would say Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3.
It was a great game.
With Newcastle 2-0 down and Anthony Gordon sent off, and then Liverpool coming back to Newcastle coming back to 2-2, looking like they're going to win it. What do? They send on the kid Rio Ngamoha, who scores an unbelievable goal. You know, and I would argue that's right up there with it. But it was fantastic.
Yeah, great game. Okay, elsewhere as well, darts, of course, the World Championships going on at the moment at the Ali Pali. And headlines of, I'm sorry for going all rocky on the hockey. Oki Balboa, so sorry. Now, this is in relation to Cam Menzies. And did you see that? So he put
I didn't really know what happened. Did he burn his hand or something?
Yeah, so he apologised because he went out to Charlie Manby in the first round of the championships. He put his hand on the pyrotechnics and then turned round and uppercut underneath of the table like 2 or 3 times. And there's pictures of a really sore, nasty cut. Now, he's come out and apologised, Cam Menzies, and saying that he's been going through a lot mentally. He lost his uncle, and that everything just got a bit too much for him. But obviously we can be compassionate and understanding, but on the stage when you're a star now, the TV's on it, you've got young people watching, it's not a good look. So there's conversations around there being action taken against him. Yeah. Do you think that's right?
Well, Sam, I've got to be honest. I didn't see the incident. I only kind of read it.
I've seen it.
It's not great. Yeah.
It's not an acceptable look at all.
Is it not?
No, I mean, first of all, it's horrific when he puts his hand in the fire of the pyrotechnic.
That's what I read.
And then the way he demolishes the table, it's a really bad look in front of a national TV audience and the people who were there. And I can completely accept that he has issues, but I think there has to be some sort of punishment, you know?
I'll get a wee look at it, but you can't be behaving like that.
Yeah.
Well, he's taking responsibility because he's acknowledged it, but there has to be action because it's not acceptable, Completely. You've got young kids and people watching.
By the way, your opponent is young Charlie Manby, who we got on the show later on this morning, by the way. Now, he's a World Championship debutant.
You
know, he's just snatched victory from defeat. Yeah. How is he
taking the headlines
standing there looking? All of the headlines have been taken away from him. Instead, it doesn't, I know he's got this internal rage, but go and shake the boy's hand. Get off stage and then do what you want to, you know?
Agreed.
Well said.
They need to buy a better quality of table, by the way.
It's a good job it wasn't, though. Could have hurt himself even more.
Yeah.
This one's for you, Jeff. I know you love your cricket. Ben Stokes urging players to show a bit of dog ahead of the third test tonight. Of course, they're 2-0 down in the Ashes.
I did just say, what sort of dog is it? Is he thinking of the Chihuahua, something like that?
No, I'm thinking he's thinking more Rottweiler, Doberman, a bit more fight to claw a little bit of respect back over in Australia.
Well, we've got Brad Hogg coming on. Later on.
A bit later on.
Yeah,
I mean, thoughts on McCullum and Stokes? Are they making the right decisions?
Well, I don't even think it's so much them making the right decision. I just think it's the batsmen making the wrong decisions. As much as anything, and they haven't changed the batting lineup. So time will tell, Sam. But they're under serious.
And I think when we hear Harry Brooks saying, that he's going to rein himself in. Well, that's going to be really tough. I'll be able to see if he can, because year after year they've been told just go out there and play. Sort of have that change of attitude. It's very difficult, I think. Not chase the one outside the office.
Once again, they'll be looking to Joe route, won't they?
Yeah.
Once again,
yeah. Sam, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Sam.
Lovely, thank you.
And that was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Tony's texted said, "Good morning. The goalkeeping last night was like watching a sketch from the Stanley Baxter Show, who sadly passed away at 99 years of age over the weekend." Coming up, what makes a good football owner? Is it an impossible job? Do fans expect too much? We'll discuss that next.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
Who doesn't love the Ryder Cup, the competition that ignites and unites the greats of golf like no other? 1927 brought us the very first edition at the Worcester Country Club in Massachusetts. For the first 22 editions, when it was just British and Irish golfers versus the US, America were only beaten 3 times. But in 1979, in came Europe, and in came Seve Ballesteros, who went on to win 5 of them. Since Team Europe became a thing, the head-to-head reads Europe 13, USA 9. Europe's last away win was the miracle at Medina in 2012. America hasn't won on European soil since 1993 at the Belfry. So what about the money? The most recent Ryder Cup in Rome drew in a record 271,000 spectators and boosted the Italian economy by €262 million. The PGA of America TV deal with NBC is worth $440 million, but 2025 will be the first time ever that the US team will receive a fee for playing. Of course, in Rome, legend has it Patrick Cantley refused to wear his cap because he wasn't being paid to wear it, though he insisted it simply didn't fit. Either way, Team Europe have made it clear they're more than happy to keep playing for the thrill, joy and prestige of the Ryder Cup.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Everything for your car, all in one place. Download it today. It's Tuesday, December the 16th at 6:34. Now, it has been a season filled with fan protests. We've seen them at Celtic and Rangers, boycotts at Sheffield Wednesday and Wolves. So we're asking a few questions this morning. Are football owners getting worse? In some cases, are fans' expectations unrealistic? And what actually makes a good owner? Fans, for example, at Brighton, Bournemouth, Middlesbrough, 3 off the top of my head, great ownership, correct, no complaints. Seen the worst of it at Sheffield Wednesday and Reading. Now we've got Burnley fans, Wolves fans moaning about their ownership. So, Coisty, are some fans treated unfairly, do you think, by their fan base? Is it as simple as saying, if the first team is doing well, they must be good owners? If the first team's not doing well, they can't be good owners.
I'm not sure it's as simple as that, Jeff. I think the clubs that you've mentioned, good and bad, in terms of ownership, I think the common denominator with the good clubs is you've got owners that seem to care about the club, genuine love for the club, genuine desire for the club to do well, care about the fans, just want the best for the club and the people within the club. And then you get some owners that perhaps buy football clubs for ulterior motives. I think it's as straightforward as that. And you look at what's happened. Sheffield Wednesday is a perfect example, isn't it? Somebody that's bought a club, effectively not really caring about the club, not really caring about the fans, just only interested in trying to make money. So I think it's really pretty simple in that respect. And then the one you mentioned is obviously Steve Gibson, is arguably one of the best, in my opinion, and I don't know Steve at all, but he looks to me as if he would be the perfect owner stroke chairman to work for.
Yeah, Mark the Borough fans Texas said, is Steve Gibson best owner in the land?
Yeah.
Saved the club in 85, bankrolled the glory years, supported it ever since financially, all for the love of his club.
Correct.
writes the debt to himself year after year, super Gibbo. Not everybody's in that position, and not every club can rely on an owner who is so entrenched in their history.
No, absolutely. I mean, well, you look at the owners of Stan Kroenke at Arsenal. What else have you got? Some of the consortiums and some of the private equity funds that own. You're not going to tell me that they're Arsenal fans or Manchester City fans or Leeds United fans at 49.
No, but the Kroenkes are a great example, aren't they, of someone who can turn public perception around.
Correct.
Because when Stan Kroenke was more sort of hands-on, Arsenal fans were incredibly critical. But now, I think Josh Kroenke is the real face of Arsenal. And suddenly, Arsenal fans appear to like their owners. But I asked the question, well, presumably, because they shed loads of money into the team and they're winning.
Yeah. I think, you're right in both counts, but the most important factor is they're winning. And that will be, because you know what football fans are like, and I include myself, they're fickle, very, very fickle. And they want to see their team winning. And that's one of the reasons I think that he in particular and his family have managed to turn it round. Well, would you rather... I think, if I was going to be brutally honest with you, Jeff, I think if you asked any football fan their ideal owner, even ahead of a private equity fund with limitless money and all that kind of stuff, would be a Steve Gibson.
Yeah.
Somebody that has a genuine love for the club, same as they do, and just goes the extra yard.
What if you have a genuine... love, but passion for the club and passion for football, but you just make the wrong calls?
I think the fans will accept that. I do. Most of the fans, I think, would accept that. Because as long as you've, again, I go back to what I say, as long as you've got the club's best interests at heart, right, which, most of them do, even as I say, the guys that come in for war with the Americans or Saudi or Qatar, whoever they are, they will have the club's best interests at heart because they want to succeed, right? And by doing that, they want to succeed on the pitch. There are other ones who have mentioned who I'm not sure have that same agenda, and they're effectively, I think, wrong-uns. But the fans will, I think, accept a lot more people attempting to do the right thing for the benefit of the club rather than their own interests.
Yeah.
And the fans can sniff it. The fans sniff it.
Yeah.
A mile away.
I mean, it's without knowing the individuals and no one's going through their heads, it's so difficult to call whether they are doing things for, the benefit of the whole club or whether whether there's some self-interest. And I ask the question.
There will be an element. There must be an element.
Well, that's the question about Jim Ratcliffe at Manchester United. Now, he is a Manchester United fan, so is everything that he's done at that club, for the benefit of the fans? I'm sure in his mind that
his mind it will be.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, and probably ditto. And West Ham fans are going to hate me saying this, but David Sullivan and Karen Brady, I'm sure when they decided to make the move from Upton Park, from the Berlin Stadium to the London Stadium, they will have felt it was for the benefit of the football club. It hasn't turned out that way.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't appear to have done anyway.
I think not being an owner, never have been an owner, I think what would be really important as well, yes, in an ideal world, you're a Steve Gibson, you love the club and you want to do your best for the club, but at the same time, you can't allow that to blinker any of your decisions for the club moving forward. I wonder sometimes, and I can't answer it because I don't know, I wonder sometimes if somebody like Steve Gibson, it'd be brilliant to talk to him, has he been blinkered? Has he made one or two wrong decisions because of his love for the club rather than a business decision that would benefit the club? It'd be interesting to have that discussion with him. No, but I think you're right. I don't think there's any doubt that West Ham owner, for example, are attempting to do the best thing for the club moving forward and make the club more stable or take them a better. You can argue about where they play their football at this moment in time, but I would think I think the move was made with the best interests at heart. I really do, for the club moving forward.
I mean, it does beg the question.
I think, sorry, Jeff, I just interrupt you one more. I think from a manager and a coach's point of view, and I'm not sure I'm not sure we get as much of it as perhaps we used to. If you're particularly a young manager, all you can ask for is a chance and support from your owner, right? I think you've got to get support, a level of support. There has to be a relationship between the head coach, the manager, and the owner, and it has to be a really healthy working relationship with.
How much would you like to do? If you're a manager, how much do you want the owner to be involved? Do you want to see him, in the dressing room beforehand? Do you want to see him at the training ground? Do you want the occasional meeting with him, or do you just want him to be in the background?
I think it depends on the character as well. I mean, during our successful period, we had Sir David Murray, and every home game he'd come in and have a bit of crack with the boys, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And then he would go and have his lunch with Walter. Walter would tell him his team. David Murray would tell him he was probably wrong in about 3 positions, but in a jovial, not putting any pressure on you at all, left Walter to his job, left Graham to his job. And that was the way, that was a perfect working relationship. And he used to come in and see the boys for half an hour in the dressing room, and it was brilliant. And the boys enjoyed seeing him coming in because he gave the boys a bit of stick, a bit of patter flying about, and then he disappeared and let everybody do their job. And I think in that situation, they got the balance absolutely perfect.
Yeah. I'll take you back many, many years ago now, when I was a young Hartlepool fan, really, and our manager was a guy called Billy Horner then, and we had a chairman called Vince Barker. Now, we were playing away at Darlington, the arch rivals.
Oh, don't I know it?
And this is so long ago. The Billy, who'd just been given a 7-year contract, which was unheard of. 7-year contract, unheard of in League Two. He's gone into the boardroom, and it's a chalkboard, and he has chalked the name of the starting 11 on the board, and then he's gone out. Vince Barker has come in, got the duster, wiped all the 11 names out, put his 11 down. He's then eventually disappeared. Billy comes back, writes the original 11. I mean, it was like a scene from a farce, But,
well, that's the one thing that's vitally important, right? I think that's taboo. You can't even get involved in that. If you're an owner, you cannot start picking teams, right? That's why you employ a coach and a manager, right? It's bad enough head of recruitment picking your players, right? But if you've got an owner trying to attempt to pick your team, that is so wrong and that can't happen.
I mean, it's because we mentioned the Cronkies and how they can rebuild their reputation amongst the fans, if you like. Sheffield Wednesday up for sale at the moment, and one of the 3 principal bidders is Mike Ashley. So if you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, how do you view a Mike Ashley takeover, bearing in mind that at the time at Newcastle, rightly or wrongly, he was hugely unpopular?
Oh, massively unpopular. So from that point of view, no, I genuinely don't know the goings, the financial and business goings. I mean, but the one thing you would say about Mike Ashley, right, he ain't buying Sheffield Wednesday because you love Sheffield Wednesday, right? So that's the first thing you would think about. But if you're a Sheffield Wednesday supporter and Mike Ashley's buying your club to improve your club and take it back to where the Sheffield Wednesday fans think they should be, that's a different matter.
See,
but then how he goes about it as well.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter to me if the new owner sees it as a money-making opportunity, providing that goes hand in hand with success.
I don't know. The perfect example was Celtic, Fergus McCann. Fergus McCann came in, excuse me, it was the early 90s. Fergus McCann came in and says, by the way, here's the deal. Here's what I'm here for. I'm here for 4 or 5 years. I'm going to build a stand, I'm going to build a new stadium. I'm going to get the club back. I'm going to make myself a right few quid and I'm going to disappear.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. And fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Yeah. Right at the opposite end of the leagues in the National League, you remember that Morecambe were saved from what was a difficult ownership, saved by the Punjab Warriors. Not everything is always what it says on the tin. The Punjab Warriors appointed their own man, but now 2 long-standing co-chairmen have resigned following the departure of, listen to this, the general manager, the finance manager, the academy manager, the senior safeguarding manager, the HR consultant, and the head chef. So, and I'm not for 1 minute saying the Punjab Warriors haven't gone in there with the best intentions, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter how good your intentions are. You know, if you don't necessarily have the experience within a football club, if you don't necessarily have the money, you know, things don't always work out. A couple of names to fling at you. Actually, I thought there would be. Louis Dreyfus at Sunderland, youngest in England, has to be up there with the best owners. That comes from Harry. And Rossi, a Man City fan, says, "Morning, Jeff and Ali, fantastic show. I agree with what you say about Steve Gibson, fantastic chairman. Do not forget, Manchester City had the top class man in charge in the late 90s, early 2000s in David Bernstein. He rescued Manchester City from financial oblivion and brought them back to the Premier League, consistently spending his own money to look after the club and ensuring they were out of financial difficulty." And that's your, of course, that's your dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
We will be crossing down under to find out if the Aussies have any fear of an England comeback after that belting rest and recuperation time they had in Noosa in the third Ashes test, and continue to review that thriller at Old Trafford last night. We'll also ask the question, why on earth did Ruben Amorim call out the kids at Old Trafford before that game? That was our look ahead, all thanks to Travis Perkins. And next you'll hear exclusively from Martin O'Neill.
Fast? Yes, I would have done.
Are you in any way disappointed you weren't asked?
Nope.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Step up to the Oki and win the ultimate VIP darts experience on talkSPORT.
6:53, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me this morning through until 10.
I certainly am, Jeff. Now, the PDC World Darts Championships well underway. Former world champion Gerwyn Price. He is in action tonight, and talkSPORT and Pitch Experiences could be sending you there on the 23rd of December.
Countdown's on. Get your entry in by Thursday, and you and 3 mates could be living at large with platinum seats, fine dining, an open bar, VIP access to the 501 lounge with Russ the Voice Bray, and then it's straight to your prime arena table for the best view in the house.
What's not to love about that? Yeah, an open bar and a bit of company with Russ the Voice Bray. Get ready for an unforgettable Ali Pali Christmas. Here's how to enter. Text DARTS to 83338. That's text DARTS to 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rates, or call 043 421 7508. Call 0343 421 7508.
Lines close 4 o'clock this Thursday afternoon. That's when you need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. So for your chance to win, text DARTS to 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. And the best of luck to you. Breaking news for you here. Brendan Rodgers has signed a 2.5-year contract as the new Al Qadsiya manager in Saudi. That agreement has been sealed. Al Qadsiya, Coisty, I am not familiar with.
Oh yeah, Jeff. They're based in the eastern city of Khobar. They're sitting 5th in the league at this moment in time, and that's all I can read for you off Wikipedia.
You surprised that Brendan's chosen to go down that route?
No. I'm not. To be honest with you, Jeff, I think he could have come back down, obviously, and got a club down here. I think he's obviously fancies a bit of cash, and fair play to him. There's nobody going to, if that's what he wants to do and earn a few quid, fair play to him. A lot of people in his position would do the same. I still think he's probably got unfinished business back here in the UK. But after the departure and the way it ended at Celtic, I can understand him. He's probably just wanting to get away at the road and have a couple of years somewhere, and just get his football management, his coaching back on track. I can understand it, yeah.
Now, another former Celtic manager, Martin O'Neill, returned to talkSPORT for the first time since his interim stay at Celtic came to an end last week. Jim White asked if he would have liked to have stayed on as boss.
If asked, yes, I would have done. Yeah.
Yep, you would have done. Are you in any way disappointed you weren't asked?
No.
Okay. We'll squeeze more out of him in the coming minutes, Simon.
He is.
You think he is?
Of course he is.
No, I'm not.
Oh, sure.
Martin, I think you'll find if Simon says yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Because Martin...
Simon telling Martin what he thinks.
Isn't it great? I mean, but I tell you what, I mean, and it's not with hindsight, and it's not with hindsight. I was so surprised that they didn't say, Martin, right, you're doing really well. Just, would you mind doing us a favour? Could you possibly stay at the end of the season and just... I had a chat with Martin yesterday for about 5 minutes. I grabbed him for 5 minutes, Jeff, just before he came on air. And he was great. Martin's, as always, fantastic, And in the short period I was talking to him, I could tell he would have taken it. He was very non-critical of anybody, but I think he would quite like to have maybe stayed to the end of the season. And for me, where I'm sitting, I think that'd have been the correct thing to do and the perfect thing to do. Yeah. Because I did mention
and with hindsight, you'd think that even more.
Well, yeah, with hindsight, but and it's easy to say it with hindsight, but I wasn't saying it was hindsight, Jeff, because I just think, and I used the term safe pair of hands, right? Now, I'll qualify it. He's miles better than a safe pair of hands. Of course he is. But he's a guaranteed safe pair of hands. That's the one thing he is. He knows the club. He knows the fans are in turmoil with the board. And he would have been the perfect go-between, I think. He'd have been ideal for the fans. He'd have been ideal for the board. Just to calm everything down. When I say calm everything down, calm the relationship and cool the relationship, if at all possible, between a section of the fans and the board. And it's not happening now. It's going the opposite direction.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, because if Celtic do make a decision in the near future on Wilfred Nancy, you hope not, because the boys hardly had a chance.
Yeah.
3 games. But if they did, you would expect Martin O'Neill's phone to be ringing with the Celtic board on the line, wouldn't you? Saying, OK, well, come on back.
You'd automatically think that, but the one thing is immediately, and it's admission of an error.
Yeah.
Now, if the Celtic board would hold their hands up and admit they made a mistake, then time will tell. But you're right, the first thing you said is absolutely spot on. You can't be thinking about dismissing somebody after 3 games.
Nice to hear some praise for owners, past and present, coming in on text. Peter said, Forest had an owner called Nigel Doughty. He was a good man and a Forest fan, but not a great owner. Evangelos Marinakis is not a Forest man, but he is ambitious and competent. I know who I prefer. That's Trent N. Pate. And Callum says, morning fellas, Southampton were in a horrible situation back in 2009. Then came along Marcus Liebherr, who steadied the ship. Marcus Liebherr, I remember him. He's thought of in very high stead at Southampton. He brought in Nicola Cortese before sadly passing away. We went back to the Premier League and then into a couple of seasons in Europe. We will never forget Marcus. Callum, thank you very much for that. Coming up, we turn our attention to Manchester United and whether Ruben Amorim was wrong to criticise the young players at the club. And we'll continue to review that thrilling game last night. That's next.
Many sporting rivalries that can boast years of history, ferocious tensions and iconic tussles that ignite the fans to their very core. But when it comes to the battle of the mind games and the verbal exchanges in the heat of battles down the decades, the Ashes stands alone. So here are some of the most memorable Ashes housery moments. Few figures in Ashes history were despised by the opposition more than Douglas Jardine. He was the granite-jawed architect of the notorious 1932 Bodyline series, which sent shockwaves through the sport that still reverberate nearly a century later. One day, the hurricane met the tornado as Jardine met Yabba.
As the name suggests, Yabba, real name Stephen Harold Gascoigne, was a heckler who became so famous that a statue was made of him. When Jardine was on the boundary swatting away some flies, Yabba yelled the immortal line, "Jardine, leave our flies alone. They're the only friends you've got here." Like Jardine before him, Stuart Broad is another figure who had a particular gift for riling the Aussie public, mainly due to his jaw-dropping survival at Trent Bridge in 2013, when he very visibly nicked off to slip and refused to walk. Broad is somewhat the modern housery king. He officially became a sorcerer in 2023 when his random bail swaps twice bought a wicket with the next ball at the Oval. 3 tests earlier, after that Carey Bairstow run-out, Broad made sure he was right in the thick of the pantomime. Wicketkeeper Ian Healy issued one of the great lines towards Nasser Hussain. When Steve Waugh told Ricky Ponting to field right under Hussain's nose, Healy remarked, "That could be anywhere within a 3-mile radius." Poor Nass. But perhaps the most poetic of sledges came from bowler of lightning bolts Dennis Lilly about the Yorkshireman of Yorkshiremen, Geoffrey Boycott, about whom Lilly wrote this: "He's the only fellow I've met who fell in love with himself at a young age and has remained faithful ever since." Priceless.
Good morning, 6 minutes past 7 o'clock. It's Tuesday, December the 16th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark at the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me. While you were listening to the news there, Ali's been doing a bit of geography homework, haven't you, Coisty?
I have, Jeff. Just to give you an indication, the wonderful Stephen Gerrard, who I was in company with last week and he was in top form, used to stay in Bahrain when he was manager. Was it Al Ettifaq, who were from the Saudi Arabian city of Dammam. And obviously Stephen was telling us Bahrain's a fabulous place to live. It's very much more like Dubai and than any of the places in Saudi. And I'm just looking at the position of Khobar and where it's situated indeed in Saudi Arabia, and it's actually nearer Bahrain than Dammam is. So I'm going to hazard a guess that Brendan and his family will be positioning themselves in Bahrain and travelling over that bridge to training and games, and good on them.
Yeah,
good on them, I say.
Not the bridge too far. This is just on the news that Brendan Rodgers has signed a new 2.5-year deal to become the Al Qadsiya manager in Saudi. So that's where it is. Talking about owners, by the way, as well. Not everybody's texted in praise of owners. Chris in Bristol says, morning, Jeff and Ali. Talking about owners, the Bristol Rovers owners are sending the club out of existence with broken promises and complete silence from them. I'm worried we're going the way that Bury did. Chris, let's very much hope that's not the case. On the way for you this morning, we'll ask the former Aussie bowler Brad Hogg if Pat Cummins and his men will be terrified of an England fight back after their belting few days off. And we'll be joined by 20-year-old Charlie Manby, who knocked out the 26th seed Cameron Menzies on his Ali Pally debut yesterday. Now, in the spirit of Christmas, Manchester United and Bournemouth handed each other plenty of gifts on talkSPORT last night.
Here is Dallow in towards the near post. Cunha up there with a header, and then Ahmad is on the line, and he will head it home. And Manchester United take a lead after 13 minutes. Here is Semenyo down the right side, though, getting in behind the United defence. He powers into the box. His right-footed shot comes in off the post, and they have equalised. Corner deep towards the far post. Casemiro is free. He heads it down, and it's into the net. And Manchester United take advantage of another set piece. Devon Nilsson is racing through, and he's sending the ball into the bottom corner, just seconds into the second half. It's going to be Tavernier who strikes it, left-footed, through the wall, into the corner, and Bournemouth have turned it around, and they lead. It's towards the bottom, and scores a terrific goal. Manchester United are level. Here comes to Cunha. Cunha makes it four. It's brilliant. What brilliant football from Manchester United, and now they have taken the lead once more. Troopy inside the penalty area, left-footed shot into the far corner. It's 4-4.
Manchester United led 3 times and were pegged back, had to settle for a point. The former United defender Steve Bruce was asked how the players should react to picking up that point.
If I'm going to be honest, when I just look at them walking around the pitch, there'll be a disappointment there. There's a disappointment in them that they haven't got over the line. They'll be disappointed with the mistakes they made in their defensive play. Some of their forward play was terrific, especially in the first half. It's as good as I've seen for a long time. But that Achilles heel they've got at the moment, and you can't be successful unless you've got a steady back 3, back 5, whatever you want to call it. And we know Harry Maguire and De Ligt are missing. Martinez is just coming back, so they're going to be better defensively, certainly at the top end of the pitch now with Cunha in particular and Mbeumo. They've got a little bit of quality which gets you off your seat, and I have to say in the first half they looked a really good team.
Let's get some reaction to that game from the former United TV host Adam Stott. Morning, Adam.
Morning, Adam.
Good morning, Ali. Morning, Jeff. How are we doing?
Yeah,
very well, thanks, mate.
Look, Brucey there saying that the Manchester United players should be a bit disappointed. Were you?
Yes, I think the facts, you mentioned it there, Jeff. We led 3 times in the game. The attacking play from United was really good. It's been a lot better this season, but the Achilles heel, Steve Bruce nailed it. The switch-off moments, the first thing that Ruben Amorim said in his press conference afterwards was the same thing again. Moments in games where United just switch off and they end up undoing all of the good attacking work with what can only be described as just blackout moments where we're not clued up, we're not switched on, we don't see movement from the opposition, and they take advantage of it every single time. Nottingham Forest, start of the second half, 2 goals conceded in 5 minutes. Same again tonight. We've led in so many games and thrown away leads this season. I think it is frustrating for United fans, even though the football, like most people are saying, is actually better to watch now.
Adam, tell me, mate, there would be a train of thought which I can understand that Ruben Amorim is beginning to get it right, and let me explain myself, because as you correctly say, Mason Mount's back fit. The two signings have been brilliant, by the way, for me, and Mbeumo and Cunha. I really think, they've been terrific signings. I think they're going to become very good United players. I think they're comfortable and they look as though they're happy playing there. Sesko, the jury is out a little bit. So with that in mind, he's taking steps to sort out the forward line, which has always recently been a problem.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in the next couple of windows he'll have a go at the defence. I know they've got 1 or 2 out, I understand that, but the defence looks unstable, I would suggest. So I think that'll be next to get fixed.
I think midfield, Ali.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds.
I accept that as well, yeah.
Yeah, we've got 7 centre-backs in our books, if you want to count them, if you're playing across the back three that have all featured there. The injuries haven't helped at all, but the defence has just been unstable with every single partnership we've had, or trio that we've had at the back this season. It's just been a problem of not being able to control games, I think. A lot of people would blame the midfield for that, and the pressure is on the defence. I feel like the centre of the park, centre-back, centre midfield, possibly wing-back if he wants to continue with this formation is where he goes next, because we have got forward players scoring goals. I mean, we're level on goals scored with Arsenal, who are top of the league right now, but we've got a defensive record which is down there with the best at the bottom of the table, and that's why we're not moving into that next position in the league where we've always been able to, with a win at home, say against Everton, West Ham or Bournemouth, move into the top 4, and we failed each time. It's really frustrating, but the defence, I don't know what it is. We had 2 teenagers in the defence last night. Maybe that had something to do with it, a partnership that hasn't played much before. And I think that's it. The chopping and changing at the back hasn't helped either, Ali.
Yeah. Adam, can I just ask you, before the game, look, I usually support Ruben Amorim, but before the game, he picked out some young players. I mean, he was sort of defending the fact that he wasn't putting Kobe Mainoo in the side. And he said, look, Harry Amas is struggling in the Championship. Chido Obi, not always a starter in the under-21s. Toby Collier not getting a game at West Bromwich Albion. Could it ever be right, even if something's lost in translation, which I accept it may have been, can it ever be right to dig out your young players?
I went down the road you did there, Jeff, by surely. I seen the quotes come out. This came from the embargoed version of his press conference on Friday, so we didn't hear about this until 10:30 on the Sunday evening before the game last night, obviously. And I seen the quotes from the journalists who were in the press conference, and I thought, that it doesn't sound right. So I went and listened myself. I said, there must be some loss in translation surely there. And I think it was the fact that the journalists were probing him on the Kobe Mainoo situation. And there was several questions going in on Kobe Mainoo, and Kobe Mainoo from different journalists are constantly going on him. I think he reacted in a way to say, look, I'm playing academy players. Last season they had a chance and they failed. Kobe Mainoo had a chance last season, he failed. They were all part of one of Manchester United's worst ever Premier League sides. In fact, the worst in Premier League history in the club. They've had their chance. I think because he's in a position now as a manager where he needs results, he's looking to players he trusts. He hasn't got enough games in a season to rotate his squad. Every Premier League game is massively important for him. He can't play Kobe. And I think a reaction from them asking him the questions on Kobe Mainoo, he's brought up the academy players who he gave debut to. In his 8-month spell last season, he gave 3 academy debuts. And it didn't really work out. It probably wasn't the right time to do it. But I think it's just an overall hit back at the media, constantly asking him questions about the academy. And Kobe Mainoo is obviously the big gun, and that's the one that everyone's going to use to fuel the fire, because he got the biggest cheer of the night last night. It was probably louder than one of the goals going in when he came on the pitch. But as you said in the intro, there's a lot of controversy now with what his half brother was wearing on the side of the pitch, and it's all just gone a bit chaotic again now.
Adam, thanks very much.
Thanks, Adam. All the best.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good one.
Thank you. Jim in Sheffield says Harry Amos has been the one shining light in a season of turmoil at Hillsborough. Lou Berg says Bruno Fernandes has been immense for us going forward. Can't help but notice the fact that he's cost us many goals by losing his man and not tracking back. It's a huge problem at United. And Doug, just like to say, I got your text, and I agree with it, mate. Coming up, we'll continue to react to the news that Brendan Rodgers will be managing in Saudi Arabia. Should he have waited for a better job in the UK? We'll discuss that next. Good morning, 7:20. It's Tuesday, December the 16th. Some of us are D-mob happy this morning. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist. Is my last show before
and some
Christmas. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you mean you're still working, Coisty? That's unlike you.
Right.
Brilliant. Quick word on the FA Cup third round schedule, which was released yesterday. Remember those days when you used to have 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday, and the FA Cup third round was one of the days of the season? Only 10 of the 32 will kick off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday this year. So there are 4 games on a Friday night, 4 12:15 kickoffs on Saturday, 4 kickoffs at 5:45 on a Saturday, an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. Then it's 8 games on Sunday and 1 game on Monday night, which is Liverpool against Barnsley. Hey, Coisty, they wonder why the FA Cup is struggling.
Son, I don't like the Saturday night fixtures, man.
Oh,
I've got to say, Saturday nights, you know, it's just, come on. I like a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Couple of pints, out for a bite to eat. You know what I mean? I don't like to be looking at my phone on a Saturday night, seeing how the games are going, to be brutally honest with you.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, mate. I couldn't agree more. Right, Sam Quek is back with us.
Yeah, back in. We're going to unpick this news about Brendan Rodgers signing a 2-year deal at Saudi Pro League side Al Qadsiya. Thank you very much as well, where the geography is.
Yes.
Very useful to all imagine where the options, where he could live and where he could go.
Over the bridge from Bahrain.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Listen, obviously there's questions now surrounding Brendan Rodgers. Obviously a great 2 back-to-back seasons with Celtic. He left them in October. Previously been at Leicester. He won the FA Cup there. Yeah. History with Liverpool, taking them to second, and then even more championships at Leicester. Is this the right move for him? Like, obviously, everyone naturally is going to the money. Like, obviously, he must be going for the money. That's the natural response. But he's only 52. Do you think he should have held out for a potential opening in the Premier League or Championship?
Well, listen, we're only talking without the knowledge of what was involved and all that kind of stuff, you know, because looking at it, I would imagine, I don't think there's any doubt, it'll be a tremendous move for them financially if they are situated geographically where I reckon they are, I've got to say, not a bad lifestyle. In fact, better than not a bad lifestyle, bit of weather. I'd imagine there'll be a swimming pool he could head to after his training, after his work. At this moment in time, it might have been the only offer he had, Sam. Now, I absolutely take your point. If he'd hung about and waited, I don't think there's any doubt he would have been offered a job. Where, I'm not so sure. We could have that debate. Would he have got one of the top 5-6 jobs? I'm not so sure, to be brutally honest with you. So you're maybe talking somewhere down in the echelons of the top flight. But he's obviously had this offer. And he's thought, see, another thing as well.
2 months.
Well, I know
2 months from leaving Celtic.
It didn't end well at Celtic in terms of, I'm not even talking about the football, I'm just talking about the ending with ownership, you know, at the club. And he's maybe, I don't know, he's maybe just said to himself, right, I'm getting out the road here for a couple of years and I'm away over there. Whether it's a good decision professionally, I'm not so sure. I can guarantee it'll be a very, very good move financially.
What about looking ahead to the future? Now, they're fifth.
I still think he can come back.
Can he come back, even if it all goes P-tongue for him?
Well, that's different.
Which it shouldn't.
No, that's different. I mean, he's 52 years of age. If he goes over there and is reasonably successful, yeah, there'll still be jobs for him back here, I think.
I mean, maybe, maybe he just wants something different for a little while. Yeah, I get there's a financial element. But, just looking, I mean, it's his first managerial job, 2008. So that's a lot of years ago, isn't it? 17 years ago. Watford, Reading, Swansea, Liverpool, Celtic, Leicester, Celtic. Maybe he just wants a change.
You can understand that, don't you? I mean, a lot of players, even towards the end of the key, say fancy something different, they go to Europe, experience Europe. I get that. I don't think there's any doubt the quality of football, standard football wasn't as high as certainly the top flight back here. I get that also. But you can argue, it is gaining interest throughout the world. I mean, the World Cup and all that kind of stuff, and they'll throw all sorts of money at it. I need to be brutally honest with you, Jeff, Sam. It's probably one of the few leagues I don't look at the results. I mean, I genuinely don't. I'll occasionally look, maybe every 2 weeks, to see who's first,
you
second.
You tend to get the same reaction, don't you? Any players or managers that are linked. There's only one thought. And talking about players who are linked, that main man at Liverpool, Mo Salah. Now, Al Qadsiya have shown interest, and this is a bit of a clutch headline. But there are reports from a Saudi broadcaster that Salah is obviously going to travel to Jeddah before he meets his teammates in Morocco, and he's going for a pilgrimage. But there's rumours saying that he's actually also going to link up with the Saudi Ministry of Tourism while he's there. Now, Jeddah, of course, is in Saudi, and that's an opportunity because they believe that they can land him for £100 million. Do you think Salah will go in the January transfer window is my first question.
Sam, I think there's a chance, yeah, I do. I genuinely think there's a chance. I mean, not been privy to how the meeting went with Arne Slot, which, was obviously required. I still stand by it. My own opinion is I think he was wrong making the comments. Understand why he said them, but I don't think it was the right time or the right thing to say. However, I think the relationship is savable between the manager and the player, and indeed the club and the player, only if he wants it to be savable.
Yeah.
And only if the club want it to be savable.
I think it would solve an issue for both parties, wouldn't it? The relationship's clearly very uncomfortable at the moment. Will probably continue to be so. I think Liverpool would probably at this stage, if it's 100 million. Whoa, I think they would bite their hands off. And for Mo Salah, it would be a solution. By the way, Coisty, I've just got to say, whilst I can, excuse me, Dan says, shout out, as it is Bahrain National Day today. There you go. But please tell Ali not to tell people it's like Dubai, because it's our secret. That's from Dan.
I like it. I like it.
The Salah thing from a Liverpool fan point of view, it's quite sad to see. Obviously, he will go down in history as a Liverpool legend. Everybody knows that. But then, like you say, business-wise, what's best for the club? He's still got 18 months on his contract. Is it the right decision for the club going forward that Salah does leave? I hope he doesn't go in January. I think in the summer would be perfect timing if there's a right time for him to leave. disappointing to see how his emotions got the better of him and how it was handled. But the fact that his response when he came on against Brighton, probably earlier than he expected with the Joe Gomez injury, Liverpool fans, they were happy to see that response. There was an acknowledgement,
of course,
about the situation being solved, and then obviously the response on the pitch. But I just look at it and I think, if he's going to go, he can't go on what feels like sour grapes. And it feels like it's a shame.
But that's why I think now is the right time to go, because he's come back on in that game against Brighton. He's got the ovation. He's seen he's not leaving on a sour note. If he carries on for the rest of the season, how often is he going to play? How well is he going to perform? I think that, could affect his legacy if he, in the next 4 or 5 months,
AFCON's
performs
come
badly.
at the right time, I think, because what's that saying where it's don't make a permanent decision based on your temporary emotion. Yeah. So I'm thinking that'll give him a bit of breathing space, let him have a good think from his family's point of view, from his point of view, as a club with Arne Slot.
Yeah, but also the club have got to think about it as well, because you're. What do you say? You've got 18 months of a contract to go. Sure, you can go for nothing in 18 months again.
Yeah, which you don't want.
So you've got an opportunity. Are Liverpool writing off a league title? No, of course they won't be, but it's going to be extremely difficult for them. I think we're in agreement with that. So it's right. You could maybe say, if you're owning the club, right, we're not going to win the league title. We've been offered 100 million. We might save another, 10 in wages, whatever it may be, 10, 15. You've got, if you're a business, you have to think and take these things into account. I'm with you. And Mo Salah will be the exact same thing to myself. Should I go now? What can I get back into this team? Can I recapture the form that made me an absolute Liverpool great without any doubt? Do I want to leave in these terms? There's a lot of thinking to be done from both parties.
It's up to him at the end of the day. You look at the Liverpool squad, and actually, if a few injuries hit, if you've got Mo Salah on the bench, you're thinking, that's great. But then again, Mo Salah isn't the player who wants to be on the bench, so he will kick up a fuss. In an ideal scenario, in a lovely world, he comes back, he thinks, actually, Liverpool's been great for me. I'll sit on the bench and I'll come on and make an impact, which is an ideal world, but you just don't see that from him.
This may not be the situation, but if it's an option of Mo Salah on the substitutes bench on one hand, or a new centre-half, there is no question which way they should go. I'm not sure if that is the option. Sam, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam.
Is that you done, Sam?
I'm done. I'm done now for Christmas.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
are you really? For talkSPORT, yeah. I'm not back now until after Christmas.
Hey.
Yeah, so have a good one, boys.
Yeah, have a lovely Christmas.
Lots of pigs and blankets and lots of gravy, Jeff, please.
Do not mention pigs and blankets. Do not mention them.
Brussels sprouts, a whole bar. I'm going for the whole shebang.
Yeah, the whole lot. Yorkies and everything.
Oh, yeah.
With bread sauce. Coming up, we turn our attention to the third test getting underway tonight. Harry Brooks had a great break. So does that mean we'll get a better performance from England? Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
To be honest, we tried to stay away from cricket as much as possible. We just wanted to go there and have a good time, and we had a belting time, and it was probably came at the right time.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations' hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast 7:36. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me. We're with the Arnold Clark app, everything for your car, all in one place. Download it today. Andy has texted in and said, hold on, did I hear correctly? Jeff not only dislikes gravy, but also pigs in blankets. Are you human, JS? Andy.
We don't know, Andy.
Andy, I love pigs in blankets, but there is an issue involving my sons. Okay, now I don't want to talk about this too much, but just Google Jeff Stelling pigs in blankets and you will see what my boys posted. A tray of pigs in blankets and one amidst that tray that was not a pig in blankets. Okay, so I love pigs in blankets, but I got into a whole lot of trouble when the boys posted this tray of pigs, supposed pigs in blankets. You just got to look it up, mate. Just got to look it up. Right, time for a little bit of this.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, on the back of this morning's Times, Stokes urges players show a bit of dog. England know the series will be lost if they don't get something in the Adelaide Test, which starts tonight at 11:30. Stokes told his teammates to look at your opposition every single time and show a bit of dog. Interesting use of terminology. Not really heard it before, Coisty. I mean, we know what he means.
Yes, we know exactly what he means. I think he's wanting a bit more spirit, a bit more fight, a bit more grit and determination, for want of a better description.
Yeah.
I think the Barmy Army...
He's not saying he wants them to roll over and have their tummy tickled again.
No, I think the complete opposite. I think he's more Doberman than Chihuahua.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. Let's hope they do show a bit of fight. Let's hope they show a lot of fight. In fact, joining us now to talk about this third test, former Australian cricketer Brad Hogg. Morning again, Brad.
Brad. How are you?
Oh, I'm going very well, guys. Just with your pig in blankets, I just wish I was single and over in England for Christmas, because if you want a hogging blanket, I'm the one.
Brilliant. Hey, look, we heard from Harry Brook yesterday saying England had a belting few days on the beach in Noosa. So Australians must be quaking in their boots that we prepared so well for this.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, sometimes when you've had a bit of a bad trot, it's good to get away, have a bit of a break, and then recalibrate and really think about, or have that break. And in the back of the mind, things are going through your mind churning. And then all of a sudden you come back, think about the game and think, right, we can do things slightly different. You still want to be aggressive, but in those big moments when the pressure's on, and there could be a bit of a momentum shift going either way, that's when you've just got to tighten up and play those big moments. And England don't play those big moments, especially Harry Brook. If he turns that around, he'll be one of the greatest batsmen we see.
Brad, tell me, sport sometimes throws up some great wee stories. I tell you what I didn't realise, mate. Nathan Lyon and obviously Pat Cummins coming back. And Nathan Lyon in front of me, it says returning to the ground where he started off in the ground staff, which is amazing. But I didn't know, Brad, that he was so close to catching Glenn McGrath in terms of wickets.
Oh, look, Nathan Lyon's a premier bowler. He's one of the best spinners I have ever seen, and I class him as good as Shane Warne. The reason why I say that is because wickets are a little flatter now through his career than what was through our particular period.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had as much assistance. And also Shane Warne was bowling into the right-handers rough, whereas Nathan Lyon, he only really gets Mitchell Stark's bit of rough, and it doesn't really rough up as much as what Shane Warne had. So just his consistency, being able to control the ball with quality revs and stay in the game, I think he's just been a class act, and he's up there with probably the second best spinner we've seen in Australia.
Yeah, he is a different class. There's no question about that. Look, Harry Brook says he plans to rein himself in this test match. I just wonder, how difficult will that be, do you think, Brad? Bearing in mind that these guys have been sent out to bat, in recent years, effectively saying, go out there, play your shots, no real accountability. Is it just like flicking a switch, going from being aggressive and attacking to reining yourself in?
Oh, look, I think it's going to be very difficult for him. That change of mindset, very, very hard. I think where England have really not played the cards right here is that they've got Duckett, Crawley up top that are very aggressive, but then they've got Pope and Root in the middle order that are very conservative the way that they naturally bat, and they should be playing like that all the time. Try and wear that Australian bowling attack down. Then someone like Harry Brook can come in and take the likes of Mitchell Stark and Pat Cummins away. Remember the first innings in Perth? Harry Brook made Mitchell Stark look like a spinner. He was just carving him up all over the park. And then all of a sudden, the second innings, a little bit more pressure, he wasn't able to cope with it. So for me, it's just that mental shift, getting through a spell or two of Mitchell Stark and Pat Cummins when they're on top. And once he gets through that, wears them down a little bit, then go aggressive and really take them on and put the pressure back on the Australian attack.
Brad,
and that's where he can be a lot more dominant. Yeah, sorry.
I beg your pardon, I'll interrupt you there. What about, if I may ask you on a couple of players that aren't... Bashir's been left out. First thing I would ask you, has that surprised you a little bit? And obviously from the Aussie openers, a bit of, he's had a bad time with injury, Khawaja. Will we see him again? I just noticed he's 39 and 30. He's in a tough time with injury.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think Khawaja, I think Australia have got to get rid of him now. So that's the end of your career. Move on. I think with Bashir, I don't think you're going to get value with Bashir over here in Australia. Just play the part-time spinner, the all-rounder. I think it's a good move to bring Tung in for Atkinson. I probably would have stuck with Atkinson. I just think he's got good line and length. Maybe thought about Cass, but I also love Cass as well. Just his work ethic. When the pressure's on, it's late in the day, he still runs in hard, and Atkinson does that as well. And I think Archer can look out both of these bowlers and think, right, if these guys are running in hard out the back end of the day, I've got to be doing it as well. And Archer's got to learn to be a bit like Harry Brook with his bowling. Just with the new ball, swing it. Don't really have to bowl that extra pace, but just use the wicket, use the new ball with the swing in the air. And when there's not much happening, that's when you arc it up and really try and use your extra pace to unsettle the Australian batsmen. And I think they've just got to get their match play right, or their game plan right in that aspect.
Okay. Brilliant, Brad. Thank you very much.
Thanks
mate.
again, Brad.
There'll
Enjoy.
be some sleepless nights in England for the next few
Thanks
days.
very much, guys.
Cheers, mate. The third test in Adelaide gets underway at 11:30.
I'm just looking at that, Jeff. I mean, Mitchell Starc and Scott Boland now being joined
Oh, no,
by...
no, don't. It's best not to talk about it.
It's scary though, isn't it? It really is, mate.
Yeah, well, you can see that first over, can't you? Is Zach Crawley going to go chasing them again? I mean,
not.
Ben Duckett's had a rotten season so far, you know. Just get us off to a good start, boys. Good start.
Yeah, stay in the game.
Absolutely, stay in the game, dead right. 11:30 the action starts. We've got up to the minute updates for you throughout play. You won't miss a single moment. All the reaction, make sure you head over to the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Chelsea head to Cardiff City in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals tonight. It's live on talkSPORT. Yesterday, boss Enzo Maresca all but stood by his comments, taking aim, we believe, at the board.
I already spoke about that, and I think I was quite clear. No more than that.
03717 223344. We want to hear from you, the Chelsea fans. Now you've taken to Maresca, or most of you have. Are you worried you might lose him? We'll be discussing that at around 8:30 this morning. And that was our look ahead. All thanks to Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me. If you're watching the clock, 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock now, Tuesday, December the 16th. What do we know this Tuesday morning? Well, Kobbie Mainoo's brother, it's made most of the papers actually, he was spotted inside Old Trafford last night. Spot is probably not the right word because he certainly wanted to be seen wearing a shirt reading "Free Kobbie Mainoo" during the Red Devils' 4-4 draw with Bournemouth. Rangers moved into third place in the Scottish Premiership with a 1-0 win over Hibs. And two-time world champion Peter Ryder is through to the second round of the World Championships at the Ali Pali, beating Noah Van Lin yesterday. And while still dressed as the Grinch, he spoke to talkSPORT afterwards and gave a bizarre reason for being a bit under par.
I struggled. You know, people can see that. That was like, I found it really high compared to the board I was practicing in the back room. But, you know, maybe next, lucky enough I got the chance to try and find another board that's, I feel that's the same as the stage. They're all the same, but...
Yeah, just the feeling.
Yeah, the feeling, yeah.
How do you keep a straight face when you're talking to him? I'm looking forward to you coming in green one day.
He must be the first darts player to wear a matching shirt and head. Seriously,
brilliant. Yeah.
Seriously, fair play to him. Everything was when
he said the board's too high, you get that. Somebody texted me the other day, and I'm not sure this is right or not, that the boards are actually bigger nowadays than they were in the days of Eric Bristow.
No,
I have no idea.
I'm dying to know if that's correct.
Yeah, and I would love to know if that's correct as well. Just somebody texted me that in and said there's no question that Bristow was the best because the boards were smaller. Now, who knows?
Our knowledgeable listeners
will know. I'm sure they'll let us know.
Please let us know.
Don't forget, you'll hear every match at the Ali Pali on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT app, all the reaction and player interviews on the talkSPORT YouTube Darts channel. Now, it's safe to say there are two types of people when Christmas rolls around.
Ho. I think it'd give me a serious challenge for my turkey.
You got to carry on tradition of Christmas.
Love Christmas. Absolutely love Christmas. So I do.
Mr. Grinch.
Christmas? What nonsense. 44 days of bloomin' Christmas adverts. Coca-Cola lorries. I hope one of them gets a flat tyre. It's not cool to like Love Actually. What's the carrot called?
I love that.
I know. I want him to be chopped into pieces.
No. Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana.
That's really unfair. It's so unfair because I love Christmas. Christmas advertising. You know, I think Christmas advertising in November that was.
Jeff,
I've been stitched up.
I know you well enough. I actually think they've stitched you up in a kind of Donald Trump fashion there.
Yeah, they'll be hearing from my solicitors, I'll tell you that. That's worth at least $10 billion. Yeah.
Very good.
Brilliant. So look, 9 days to Christmas. This is my last show. I thought I'd share with you my Christmas wish list for 2025. Sporting wish list. Here we go.
Yep.
I wish that England cricketers have a belting Christmas day before the Boxing Day test in Melbourne. I mean, I wouldn't want the match to ruin things for them out there on Christmas Day. I want no more Saturday 8 o'clock kickoffs, please.
I'm with you.
Yeah, TV companies make note. I want 3 up, 3 down in the lower divisions in England. It's got to become, I think it's a nonsense. It's a nonsense that only one side goes from the National League to the Football League. Clubs are getting 100 points and not being promoted automatically. And I know it doesn't affect my club.
Is it self-preservation then?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yes.
Of course it is. Yep. But look, talking about the club that I love, or did love since I was a boy, because it's Christmas, and at Christmas you tell the truth, please regain your senses by allowing the banned local journalists to cover the football club again, so the fans who paid their hard-earned money can hear and read things other than propaganda. And I also hope that Nicky Featherstone, one of the best servants that any football club could have had, and a real great bloke, enjoys a run of success on the field. I'm hoping my boys stay well away from pigs and blankets this Christmas. I'm hoping we see less Jake Pauls against Anthony Joshua.
Oh, with you, mate.
Less fights involving 58-year-old Mike Tysons and the like. And for boxing to return to its days of being the noble sport.
Yeah.
And I hope wee Viv recognises Ali when he goes back home at Christmas and doesn't just think, goodness, Father Christmas has shrunk.
I love that. Something I'd like to pick out in your piece there. The line where you told the nation, at Christmas you tell the truth.
Yeah.
In other words, what about the other 364 days?
Look, it's Christmas and crispy. Of course, it's a line from Love Actually, isn't it? The greatest Christmas film of all.
Is it? Well, there you are. Is it?
Well, it's in my view. Although there was a survey the other day that said Home Alone.
Well, you took the words
and
right
I
out.
couldn't really argue with that. It's a brilliant film as well.
Ah, tremendous. I would lean towards Home Alone.
Would you?
I just think it's more one you can sit with the kids and watch.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, no, Love Actually, I think I've said this before, it's a Christmas tradition that every Christmas Eve,
watch it.
We sit and watch Love Actually as family, you know.
It's great, that,
it's
isn't
great,
it?
yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing about Christmas as well. You do have traditions with the family. We're the exact same.
Yeah.
Me stealing round about the 11th, 12th, 13th onwards, the wee man's chocolate, the advent calendar, and he goes crazy. Things like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes mental when he gets up in the morning. I've already opened it.
You are going to be at home at Christmas, aren't you? Because I know there's football on sort of Boxing Day
Time off.
and the day before Christmas.
I'm the same as you, mate. I've got some time off. And I cannot wait. As you heard there, I absolutely love Christmas.
Yeah.
I love Christmas. I love everything that's about Christmas, and it's just great.
And so do I, despite being stitched up unmercifully. And I tell you what, this is a sort of red letter Christmas for me, because I've been married 28 years, and my wife Lizzie pointed out the other day, this will be the first time in 28 years I have been at home on Boxing Day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Jeff.
But I wouldn't say I'm the exact same, but you could count in one hand the amount of boxing.
Yeah.
Well, we used to train in Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't told her yet that it's crossed my mind to go and watch Hartlepool against Scunthorpe on Boxing Day, but you know.
Where is it?
It's in Hartlepool.
I would tread very, very carefully with you.
No, I think I'll be staying at home. Anyway, those are my Christmas wishes. And by the way, you know, we asked the listeners to text in about, you know, whether dartboards are bigger now than they used to be. They're not, but a lot of people. Stevens said today, you know, Keith Deller was on Drive the other day explaining it's due to the staples on the board that the segments were actually smaller. Same from Mark English. Said the dartboard is the same size it was when Bristow was playing. The targets on the dartboard are slightly bigger because of the size of the wire to divide the segments.
Brilliant. Has
gone from a wire to a blade. Hence, the targets are fractionally bigger. Mark, that's brilliantly explained.
Isn't it just?
Absolutely brilliant.
Well done, Mark. I told you we've got listeners out there that'll just do it for us.
Yeah, that's good going at 7:58 on a Tuesday morning, isn't it? So thank you very much indeed for that. So the targets are a bit bigger, but the dartboards themselves are actually
explains
the
it.
same size. 03717223344 is the number. No is the number to call if you think I should go to Hartlepool against Scunthorpe on Boxing Day. We are not going to take your calls on that, and we will not be making it a democratic decision. There is one person and one person alone who will decide that, and it's not me. Yeah. Coming up, we'll turn our attention back to that thriller last night between Manchester United and Bournemouth and celebrate Iraola and whether he is destined for greatness as a manager in this game. That is next.
The Six Nations, where giants do battle and legends are made. Epic sports which demands an epic voiceover every time. And actually has an interesting story as well. It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. The other home nations were a bit jealous, wanted in on the action, and after England played Wales in 1882, they all decided to hold an annual festival of international rugby, or the Home International Championship, which kicked off a year after. Now, the first decade was dominated by England and Scotland until Wales finally won in 1893 and Ireland a year later. After years of dipping in and out of the championship, France was invited to join full-time in 1910. But because France isn't a home nation, they had to give it a rebrand and settle on the Five Nations. But France were actually kicked out of the tournament in 1931. They were accused of paying players when rugby was still strictly an amateur sport. They had to wait years to be let back in. But after World War II, the Five Nations resumed. Didn't always run smoothly though, like in 1973 when all 5 teams won 2 matches and lost 2 matches. Now, because they didn't do points difference at the time, they just decided that everyone was the champion. It's like trying to keep kids happy, you know, the whole, you're all winners. In the years following, other teams in Europe started to get better at rugby and actually got to a stage where they were regularly beating teams in the Five Nations. In 1997, Italy beat Scotland, France and Ireland home and away. So 2 years later, the Five Nations invited Italy in, creating the Six Nations as we know it. In recent years, there have been calls to expand the tournament further to other European teams. Georgia and Portugal have been prime candidates to join of late. It's also been suggested there could be 2 tiers with promotion and relegation to promote growth of the sport in Europe. But the existing nations are a bit reluctant. So for now, it looks like the Six Nations, or Six Nations, or Sei Nazioni, is here to stay.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist, and our friends at Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Thanks to all of you who've been telling me where you're going to be on Boxing Day. Got one here saying Christmas is about joy for all, and for me, I get joy from standing at the side watching my team rush all Olympic. We're away at Ilkeston Town on Boxing Day, and I'll be there. I hope it's
magic, isn't it?
Ah, fantastic. By the way, Jill, who we hear from a lot, has just said, I'd like to thank you and Ali for helping me with my mental health journey. I listen to you every week, text in, sometimes call, none of which I would have done a year ago, which we're grateful for, Jill. Jill says, P.S. It's my birthday next week. Would love a happy birthday. So, happy birthday, Jill. Yeah, and you know, I always think it must be rotten to have a birthday
so do I.
so near Christmas, Jill.
Do you know what I'd do? If my birthday was around about Christmas, I'd invent another birthday for me. I would. Around about June.
Royalty, are you?
Aye. Yeah. Me and the Queen and the King. It must be tough. Do you not think so?
Yeah. Well,
particularly on Christmas Day.
Tammy, Chris Kamara, his birthday is Christmas Day.
No.
Yeah, his birthday is Christmas Day. Well, there must be a lot of people. It stands to reason. A lot of people must have been born on Christmas Day, and Cammy was one of them.
I mean, do you think his mum and dad were delighted with that present?
Of Cammy. Well, I would imagine they were. I would imagine it was their best present ever. He's my mate. I've got to say that.
I know. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Well, absolutely love him. But you're right. It must be Well, you would. I mean, I think there should be a campaign started right now for MD whose birthday is on Christmas Day. They're allowed to pick another day throughout the year.
Campaign starts here. On the way for you this morning, we'll speak to 20-year-old dart star Charlie Manby, who won his first ever game at the World Championship against a very emotional Cameron Menzies.
Yeah.
We'll ask him about the aftermath of that as well. Plus, David Bumble-Lloyd will be along with us to hopefully offer some English hope ahead of the third test in Adelaide, which begins tonight. And now, though, we're reflecting on last night's Christmas cracker. Who wrote this? At Old Trafford.
Here is Dallow in towards the near post. Cunha up there with a header, and then Ahmad is on the line, and he will head it home. And Manchester United take a lead after 13 minutes.
It does feel every United game, there's goals in games.
Yeah.
They don't play in games where things are tight and boring, a bit dull.
Lomans lining up the wall. Tavernier who strikes it, left-footed, through the wall, into the corner, and Bournemouth have turned it around, and they lead 3-2 up at Old Trafford.
Another Monday night, toes are freezing. And I've got my manager coming on the radio saying it was a fun game.
27 shots, today 25 shots. So this kind of games is what they expect.
Hits it towards the bottom and scores a terrific goal. Manchester United are level, and it's Bruno Fernandes.
How can people doubt this fella? I mean, what a wonderful free kick that is.
Here comes to Cunha. Cunha makes it. It's fantastic. Troopy inside the penalty area, left-footed shot into the far corner. It's 4-4.
I've said it. I prefer to draw 4-4 than 0-0.
I know it wasn't good today, but the signs were there. Still scored 4. If we shore up that defence...
No, sorry, Tom. Are you saying that Manchester United can still win the title?
Jason, you know what? I am saying that.
Well, it was an amazing game for the neutral, wasn't it? United had on 3 separate occasions. Joining us now to reflect on what was a chaotic night, in truth, is talkSPORT's voice of live football, Aidan Durham. Morning, Aid.
Morning, Aid. How are you?
Jeff, Ali, good morning. Yeah, I'm still buzzing after that game. I love the fact Andoni Iraola, I was in his press conference when he said that. I'd rather draw 4-4 than 0-0. I absolutely loved it. He had a big smile on his face when he said it. He did add afterwards, there's stuff we need to work on, but what a brilliant game of football. If you can't embrace the joy of that game, then football's not for you, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Hey, do you know what we were looking at? Jeff and I were laughing because we were sitting watching it last night, the two of us, Ed, right? And it was 4 each, and his team got a throw in, I think 20 yards out, and he just stuck everybody into the box trying to win the game, and it was magic to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely love all that. And listen, both sides played their part in that. And I think when we think back to how United used to play, they played like that. It would be wave after wave of attack. There would be so many efforts on goal, lots on target, which was exactly what United were last night. There's half the game that they still need to work on defensively. But you've got to remember, De Ligt and Maguire have been out. They're out still. And I think if you put those two in that back three, suddenly they look a bit tighter and things look a bit better for Manchester United. But wow, what a game, an absolute classic.
It was a phenomenal game, and you're completely right about that back three. But what was alarming to me, I mean, there are a lot of positives for United. But what was alarming for me was particularly in the second half, that Bournemouth ran through their midfield. They ran away from the United midfield players almost at will.
Yeah, absolutely. The midfield isn't right. And I think that is the big, I heard your guest earlier saying that's the big thing to work on. And I totally agree with that. However, I don't know what the solution to that is, but this is why Amrim's paid the big bucks to get that right. It isn't quite right at the moment. You put the centre halves in, they improve it. Then you look at the midfield. Casemiro hasn't got those legs. Bruno Fernandes, I think, is such a phenomenal player, as again we saw last night. You're never going to dream of leaving him out. And this is what puzzled me about last night. The only thing that really, it kind of annoyed me when Kobbie Mainoo got a standing ovation for coming onto the pitch. Not because of Kobbie Mainoo himself, because he's had some very good times at Man United, a cup final winner, brilliant goal at Wolves, England appearances. He's done so much by the age of 20 and then fallen out of favour. But when you look at this team, if Kobbie Mainoo is the answer, what on earth is the question? And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, look at how they're playing. Does he replace Bruno Fernandes? Not in a million years. Is he a defensive midfielder? No chance. So Kobbie Mainoo, the fans need to stop focusing on Kobbie Mainoo, especially his brother, And can you imagine his brother doing that when Fergie was in charge? Fergie would have had Kobbie Mainoo out of the club by the next morning. It was an utterly insane thing for him to do. It's selfish for him to do that, the brother. It's totally about him getting attention. It doesn't help Kobbie Mainoo, doesn't help Manchester United. But that midfield, I think Casemiro, as good as he's been in his career, he might not be the right man for that particular role. They need somebody with legs and a defensive mindset.
Right, Ed, I'm going to go over all ground then. You mentioned the problem in the midfield. I still think there's a problem defensively, but I didn't, I wouldn't take issue with anybody says a problem in the midfield. Could the midfield improve by changing its shape?
Well, you have an issue there, and there was times we were discussing it with Steve Bruce, who was with us for commentary last night, and nobody knows defensive strategy better than Steve Bruce. We were talking about whether it was a 4, whether it was a 3 at the back, because at times when they didn't have the ball, they slotted into a 4, and even afterwards, Ruben Amorim said that he'd been training with a back 4. So there's times when we called it a hybrid. It was a tweak rather than a change. And it was very nuanced, very subtle. And that could be the way forward for Manchester United. Having said that, they've got 3 centre-halves and they've conceded 4 goals. Now, if you look at... There was actually a chance that was missed by Bournemouth. The Marcus Tavernier header in the first half. He makes a brilliant surging run.
Great run.
Into the box. He's got 2/3 of the goal to aim at and he hits the goalkeeper.
Just put it back where it came from.
But there's no centre halves who are smelling any danger there. Now that is a big problem. And why is that? Because Yoro's young, because Aidan Heaven is young as well. That's why I think you put the experienced centre halves in there and they instantly become a better side.
Yeah. Going to be a taxing time for them, isn't it? Let's be honest, with the African Nations Cup. And I know you can say the same about a lot of sides, but they're missing a couple of big players in Mbeumo and Amad Diallo.
Mate, Mbeumo and Cunha last night, absolute joy to watch. There was that lovely turn from Cunha halfway inside the Bournemouth half, and he got himself onto the right-hand side, kind of drifted out, lofted a cross in, and Mbeumo on the volley. If that had gone in, it's one of the goals of the season. It was sensational.
It was marvellous.
We did enjoy it, didn't we?
A total joy to watch at those two at times. There's a telepathy that's developing between those two. Sesko needs to get involved in that quick now that he's back fit. He didn't look the part yesterday. He wasn't taking chances when balls were rolling across his foot in the 6-yard box. He needs to liven up and sharpen up instantly for Manchester United if they're going to get any joy from him, having paid that money. But yeah, they'll miss Mbeumo, no doubt. He's got goals in him, but he's got joy and fun in him as well. And I think that a lot of Manchester United fans appreciate what he's brought to the party.
Ed, what about tonight, mate? Good game tonight. One of the highlights of the weekend for me was Cardiff's 99th minute winner against Donny. The place absolutely erupted. Great scenes. It's a good game tonight, the quarter-final against Chelsea.
Well, I'll take another 4-3. I had a 4-4 last night. A 4-3 again would be absolutely brilliant. I mean, I feel a little bit sad for Cardiff. They're top of League One and they are entertaining. They've got a lot of young academy products, Welsh players in the side, and there's a lot to love about what Brian Barry Murphy's doing there. And yet this quarter-final, they're in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup from the 3rd tier of English football. It's impressive from Cardiff. Yet this time it's been overshadowed by Enzo Maresca being a moody so-and-so. I mean, he just needs to get over it, get on with it. You can't lose at Leeds and expect your owners to be happy. This is Chelsea. Did he not realise the job he was taking on? It absolutely baffles me with his reaction. And then his subsequent reaction in the pre-match press conference where he's doubled down on everything but actually said nothing. Listen, you got a problem, say it. Explain it clearly. Tell us all, so we're not thinking it's the media. We're not thinking you got a problem with the fans. Tell us clearly what it is. Otherwise, just don't bother talking about it, mate.
If you see him tonight, make sure you ask him. Aid, thanks very much indeed.
Aid, enjoy it, mate.
Cheers.
Look, it's my last show before Christmas, so I'm going to ignore the producers and go to the break because I just want to read some brief texts out. Damien, morning, lads. My wife's birthday is on Christmas Day, which is a blessing in disguise because I'm very forgetful. I can't possibly forget her birthday. That's Damien in Burnley. My dad's birthday, Georgia and Will, says, my dad's birthday is Christmas Eve. He's 60 this year. He's called John. I had a rough year. It'd be amazing if you could say hello, consider it done. Martin says, I'll be working Christmas Day night and Boxing Day, 12-hour night shift as I'm a carer for the disabled. Please give a shout out to all us carers and support workers. That's Martin from Wigan.
Well done, Martin.
And finally, your 2 birthday idea. Paul and Preston. My 2 kids were born on Boxing Day. My son's coming up 12. My daughter's coming up 16. They both pick different dates during the year to celebrate their birthday, and we just do the cake on Boxing Day.
I love it.
Which is absolutely brilliant. So that's Paul and Preston.
Well done,
Thanks
Paul.
very much.
The more parties, the better.
03717 223344 is the number to call if you're a Manchester United fan, you want to have your say on Kobbie Mainoo. If you're a Chelsea fan, by the way, you want to have a say on what Adrian just said then about Enzo Maresca taking the spotlight off Cardiff this evening, same number to ring. Coming up, the Christmas chat continues. Does Ali do any of the cooking on the big day? What time does he have his first drink? Will he be watching the NFL on Christmas Eve? We'll find out next. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me. Quick text from me, first of all. Morning, guys. This is Maria. My birthday is New Year's Day. It's the worst ever, as everyone's hungover to death, skint, sick of eating, sick of drinking, and loads of places are shut. Can I please change the date, Maria? I would change the date.
Charlie's a KB United man, and he wants to know the big question. It's a fair question. He wants to know if it's Paul or indeed Paul's wife's birthday 9 months before Boxing Day, with 2 kids at Boxing Day. Brilliant, mate.
Brilliant. Look, here's a more serious note. Dom, who's a Celtic fan in Glasgow, says, everyone at talkSPORT, I just wanted to say thank you. As someone who's always struggled, and what has been a really dark year for me, having talkSPORT on has genuinely helped keep my spirits up when things were tough. Jeff and Ali in particular, you've been a huge part of that. The laughs, the debates, and just the feeling of not being on my own. Brilliant, it really has meant more than you will ever know. So honestly, thank you. Well, Dom,
Magic Dom.
Pleasure's all ours, mate. And if we've helped in any way, shape, or form, we're only too pleased. We're just here having fun, being paid, being handsomely, well, Coisty's been handsomely paid. But we love it, and we love your company as well, and that applies to everyone out there.
Absolutely.
So Christmas fast approaching.
Yes.
Who's in charge of cooking the Christmas dinner? Well, I know in my house who's in charge of cooking the Christmas dinner. What about yours?
What do you think? Do you think, in all seriousness, Viv lets me anywhere near the kitchen? No, I'm in charge. I'm very much the barman, in charge of the drinks, glass of champagne, cup of a wee cocktail, whatever it may be, and we do it. The girls do it really well. And Viv's mum sadly no longer with us. She used to do a couple of stuffings, but they generally get a couple of courses, and Andrew, Viv's brother, does the turkey and all that stuff. So I'm the last person that's allowed anywhere near the kitchen.
But listen to this. According to the papers this morning, more than 1 million people will be frying the Christmas dinner. 6%, no, 6% will be deep frying the turkey, with a further 8% whacking it in the air fryer. What
kind of air fryer they got?
A big one.
I was going to say.
Or it's not a turkey. It's a quail, not a turkey.
Come on. There's some traditions should be set in stone in the oven with the stuffing, the whole bit, then let it lie for whatever period it may be. There's a couple of things. And do you know what I like? I like the way they put on the vegetables in with it as well. You know what I mean? I think I've seen it was Gordon Ramsay, where we sit and watch these Gordon Ramsay programmes, and all of a sudden the carrots and all that stuff were going in with it. Oh, it's magic, man. I'm salivating already.
Good man. Not long to wait, mate. It's only 9 days away. Right, let's get the latest odds with Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to bring the cheer for the cricket down under. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Steve-O, good morning.
Steve-O, good morning, pal.
Gentlemen, a very, very good morning and season's greetings to you both and to talkSPORT listeners. I suddenly realise I haven't actually done that so far December. So,
correct.
As it's your final day, Jeff, very Merry Christmas to you both.
Yeah, and you, mate. Are you in charge of Christmas dinner?
Do you know, it's very much, believe it or not, it's a team effort. And I genuinely, I love cooking a roast anyway. My cooking hero for the older generation is Keith Floyd. The great Keith Floyd.
Yeah.
So always have a small slurp on the go. I think that's probably why I like it, because it means you can get in there early morning and just crack open a bottle and just keep refreshed all day. But no, listen, we love it. It's great, isn't it? You just sort of juggle all the families, and then of course Boxing Day, it's off to the races. So it's never too.
King George. Steve, I need to tell you, mate. Many years ago, I think it might have been around about Euro 96 or 98, around about that. Chris Evans' programme. What was it again? TFI Friday, right?
Yeah.
I was only on it with Keith Floyd, right? And I'm going to tell you something, Steve-O. He was everything, and I mean everything you wanted him to be. He was a fantastic character.
Hey, Steve-O, I've got a recommendation as well for you. If you decide to go out on Christmas Day, Susie and Bill says, Jeff and Ali, don't do Christmas at all, old bar humbugs. No cards, no presents, don't do Christmas lunch either, as we go to our local harvester in Portsmouth. Used to go nuts at Christmas when our daughter was little, but we've now lost interest. Hey-ho, best wishes to everyone. So there you go. If you need to go out, the harvester in Portsmouth's open, according to Susie and Bill anyway. So.
What more could you want? But I'm so glad you said that, Ali, about Keith Floyd, because you want your heroes to be that sort of thing. So anyway, Listen, I've been listening to the cricket chat all morning.
Oh, dear.
As if it wasn't bad enough, right? So we're 2-0 down England. The first test within a matter of hours, literally. Australia are bringing back 870 wickets. That's how many Nathan Lyon and Pat Cummins have taken in tests. Nathan Lyon is the leading wicket taker in tests in Adelaide. I mean, honestly, I know gamble responsibly at all times of the year, but particularly at Christmas. But Australia are 1-2 to win this third test, 2-1 on. They should be 10-1 on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Steve-o, I never knew. We're talking to Brad Hogg earlier on the show, who incidentally was tremendous and always is.
Yeah.
I didn't know Nathan Lyon's only one away from Glenn McGrath.
I know. I mean, extraordinary. And the way Brad was talking about, you know, how it's harder now for the spinners, whereas look, Shane Warne for me will always be number one. But Nathan Lyon say well over 500 Test wickets. He's only, he's 3-1 to be leading first in his score here. Maybe the second innings when we'll see him most. Mitchell Stark's 2-1 to be top. Then it's Pat Cummins 9. I mean, the strength these Aussies have. England are 9-4 to win this. Forget it, honestly. It's not going to be a draw because it never is. And it's still, Jeff, it's just 6-4 that Australia win this 5-0. And again, I can't argue with that. Look, I'm being pessimistic, maybe, but do you see any way back for England in this series?
You make me sound like an optimist.
I'm hanging about with the Doom Brothers here, man. What's going on? Steve-o, lighten up, mate. It's Christmas.
But in answer to your question, no, I don't see. I don't see that we've got any realistic chance, you know? I mean, we've stuck with the tried and tested, and as you say, they bring in two fantastic bowlers. You know,
if we couldn't
scary.
get a result in Perth when they didn't have these bowlers, that was supposed to be the wicket that would suit us, and that was all over in 2 days. I mean, Ben Stokes wants them to play like dogs. I've got a Jack Russell here that would have performed better in the first test. I mean, listen, it's going to be. I just don't think it's going to be one that goes to 5 days anywhere near it again.
Steve-o, just quickly, Cardiff against Chelsea, Carabao Cup tonight. Chelsea, Maresca's made it plain they are going to rotate. What chance an upset?
Yeah, look, 7-1 Cardiff to win in 90 minutes to qualify, which is what matters, I suppose. Is they're 130. They are flying high. Chelsea, we can expect to make lots of changes. Chelsea are 1-3 to win it. 4-1, it goes into extra time. Just in terms of this Carabao Cup outright, Arsenal current favourites. I don't think they play till next week, do they? They're 9-4 to win it. 11-4 City, Chelsea 4-1. So yeah, look, Cardiff flying high. They can give it a go. They got nothing to lose.
Steve-o, thanks very much. Have a brilliant Christmas.
And you, Jeff. Merry Christmas.
All the best, mate.
That was a look at the latest odds, all thanks to Coral. 18+, gambleaware.org. And I thanked Chris Bistow Chalice, who says, for your information, Jeff, the Harvester in Portsmouth has now closed down and is now a Miller and Carter, so don't go there on Christmas Day. I hope Steve-o's still listening. Coming up, so Enzo Maresca's fan is apparently criticising the board while sitting in a top 4 place in the table. What if he loses at Cardiff tonight, though? It's live on talkSPORT. We'll discuss that next.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to bring the cheer for the cricket down under. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know, here's the tale. Tennis has its roots in 12th century France when people used to make balls from all sorts. Cork, wool, chalk, animal fur and even human hair. Uniformity was found centuries later when people started making balls out of something called vulcanized rubber, invented in the US. But the balls kept on breaking, so a British lawyer, who also loved tennis, suggested they put a flannel covering on the outside, and thus the tennis ball as we know it was born. One problem, it was either white or black. And when the controller of BBC Two, Sir David Attenborough, decided Wimbledon would be shown in colour on the BBC in 1967, no one could actually see the balls on telly. So the International Tennis Federation went away and created a new colour called Optic Yellow, which would show up without the need for a 4K LED display. Not that anyone had that in the 1960s, of course. Since then, all tennis balls have been covered in that material and have their trademark colour for that exact reason. Amateur tennis players and dogs worldwide are forever grateful. You could say the ITF aced it.
Good morning, 8:35 on Tuesday, December the 16th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist, and the Arnold Clark app. Everything for your car, all in one place. Download it today. Now, after beating Everton 2-0 on Saturday, the Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca was asked about the performance of his right-back Malo Gusto, who got a goal and an assist. His response took everyone by surprise.
With so many problems, they are doing very well after a complicated week. Since I joined the club, the last 48 hours has been the worst 48 hours since I joined the club, because many people didn't support us. So very happy for Malo in that moment, that the effort from Malo, from the rest, show that they are all there and they want to help this club. Worst 48 hours since I joined the club, because people didn't support me and the team.
Well, Maresca then faced the media again yesterday ahead of the Carabal Cup game against Cardiff, which is live on talkSPORT tonight. And of course, the press wanted to find out exactly what he meant with his comments on Saturday.
I already spoke about that, and I think I was quite clear. No more than that.
But with all due respect, I don't think you were clear, because you said something that is open to a lot of interpretation. Obviously, when you make those comments, you have to accept the fact that people are going to talk about them.
I respect your opinion, and I respect people's opinion, but again, I don't have nothing to add, and my focus is just on tomorrow game, that we can achieve the third semi-final in 18 months since I joined the club.
Now, I mean, it's interesting. Coisty, one thing that's clear is this wasn't a throwaway comment.
No.
This was planned in advance. He knew what he was going to say, and he knew it was going to make waves.
Of course he did. Listen, clever man, made his point. They tried to push him on it yesterday. He'll not go back on it because he thinks he has made his point. To a certain degree he has. I know from the media's point of view, they want him to open up and give us more and get the story going for another 2 or 3 days, he would, excuse me, and should now put a lid on it. You can argue whether he should have said it in the first place. That's for another debate. But the one thing that he should do now is move on and concentrate on tonight's game.
Yeah. Not naturally. Everyone wants to know. Of
course they do.
Just who exactly he was pointing the finger at when he says many people didn't support us.
And listen, he's already cleared the fans. So he's done it without naming them, effectively, right? But I think we all know that. So I think the press, particularly last night, are trying to push him to say the owners are the men behind the scenes. That's what he's trying to. But listen, the people that he's had a go at know who they are, right? And they won't be happy. There's no way they'll be happy with that.
I guess they'd be even less happy if he actually physically named them.
Correct.
Like you, Simon Jordan thinks that the Chelsea boss now needs to put a lid on it.
I don't understand what his objective is. I don't personally think Maresca gets a bigger job in world football. I think he's got a wonderful job at a football club that's as big as most football clubs in Europe, going through a period of adjusting to a new ownership. Yeah. But where does Maresca go?
Do you think it could backfire on him, Coisty? You know,
it could.
What if they lost tonight, for instance?
I think you better believe it could backfire on him. There'll be an element of people now within that club. Well, I wouldn't say they'd be praying for it to go wrong, but they'll have a knife sharpened for him. I don't think there's any doubt about that, Jeff. So from his point of view, he's going to have to continue winning games and doing well. And I think he has done well. That's another one that's up for debate. I think he has done well.
Yeah.
I really do. I think there's still continued improvement in that Chelsea team and that Chelsea squad. Everybody keeps saying they're a young side. They're a relatively young squad. I mean, I think it was I don't underestimate the achievement of winning that tournament in the summer. I think it was I think it was the first team, obviously, to win it. I think it was one of the best club sides on the planet. So that in itself was a great achievement. You know, and I just think they need to continue in Champions League. I still don't think they're of a squad and of a team that are capable of winning the league yet. Could that change in the next couple of years? Yes, it could.
I mean, obviously, after that, it was inevitable, after that Club World Championship, you know, that during the course of this season, that he would have to rotate. And if that's what he's referring to, criticism for rotation after the Leeds United defeat, after the game in Italy against Atalanta, well, yeah, that was an inevitability. But it's interesting, isn't it, that Manchester United, Jim Ratcliffe went public with his support of Ruben Amorim, saying he's going to be here for 3 years, come what may. Do you think now is the time for the Chelsea hierarchy to come out?
They won't do it.
Yeah.
They won't do it.
Why not?
Because as a club, I don't think they do it. Certainly it's the last thing they've been as a club. You think continuity in managers. But I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe, from his point of view, it was an excellent thing what he did. Right? Now, whether he gets back on it or not in the next 2 or 3 years, we'll wait, wait and see. But you'd have to say, I think he's a man of integrity and he'll stand by what he says. Now, the first thing that does is it let the fans, and more importantly, in my opinion, the players know who's in charge, and it's in that dressing room, and it's Ruben Amorim, and it's going to be him for the next 3 years. So you can't sit back and say, well, this manager's going to get the sack in 6 months, so I'll still be here, I'll have this contract and all of that. The players now know, they're in no uncertain terms, that he's the boss and he's going to be the boss for the next 3 years. I think the one thing, it's got pros and cons to it, but I think it certainly provides stability, which is a pro.
So why can't they do that at Chelsea?
I just don't think they will. I just think they're different owners.
You think he's done a good job?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I think he's done an excellent job.
Honestly, I really do. But I just don't think it's in the Chelsea. Well, see, from Manchester United's point of view, Jeff, clearly there's been uncertainty. The team, ever since Sir Alex, effectively, there has been a lack of stability, there's been uncertainty. Now, the one thing that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's trying to do, I think he's trying to get a bit of stability there. Whether the team win or not, but there's a stability in the man that's running the team. So I think that's a good thing. And they haven't had it. I know Chelsea haven't had it either, but Chelsea have had relative success. And I just think they've got a different type of owner. that won't do what Sir Jim Ratcliffe would do.
We shall see. I mean, next on the agenda for Chelsea, and there's that game away at Cardiff this season. I tell you what, Brian Barry Murphy's got them absolutely
flying.
There's
Brilliant.
Lots of goals.
See those
They've got a
scenes
very
at the
young
weekend.
team.
See those scenes at the weekend. I watched them a couple of times, Jeff.
Brilliant.
When that winner goes in, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's old school. The whole place erupts, man. It's tremendous.
He's just done a fantastic job. What I should just say this morning as well, Dan Byrne, just wish him well.
100%.
Punctured lung.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Out for a minimum 6 weeks. He might be up to 3 months, and Newcastle will miss him. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt about it. I wrote it down last night and I forgot all about it.
Chris in Bournemouth says, morning you lot. Lots to talk about birthdays and December and anniversary. I have a son whose birthday is on the 13th of December. I have my birthday on the 18th of December, and my wife's birthday is on the 24th of December. December's one big party.
Well, I would
big party.
I would take a month off. If I was a month off for the family.
Brilliant. Right, let's look ahead to the next hour of the show with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Man United fans, we're taking your calls at 9. Is it ever acceptable to concede 4 goals at home and still be slightly pleased with the performance? Or are there real signs of life at your club now? And what about Kobbie Mainoo's brother wearing a free Kobbie Mainoo t-shirt? Aidan Durham wasn't impressed by that in the slightest.
Can you imagine his brother doing that when Fergie was in charge? Fergie would have had Kobbie Mainoo out of the club by the next morning.
03717 2233 is the number. Do you think Amarin needs to give Mainoo more of an opportunity, or is Adrian right? Is he not the answer to all of your problems? Give us a call. And that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Very good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Ally McCoist. Tino says, Jeff and Ali, my ex-girlfriend's birthday was December the 21st. She would demand that she had 2 separate sets of gifts, one for her birthday and one for Christmas, and wouldn't be happy if they were both wrapped in the same paper. Needless to say, life is easier now it's over.
Short on me.
Oh, thanks for those words of encouragement, Cost.
Yeah, dear Ali.
A bit of counselling. You're better off with that.
Better short on, mate. Move on.
Fantastic. The latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is available now as Ali and I discuss what Sunderland can achieve this season after an incredible derby win at the weekend. Sunderland's all-time record Premier League goal scorer Kevin Phillips joined us on yesterday's show. He was full of praise for the players and the fans.
You know, Sunderland knew it was a derby, and I think Newcastle, have been questioned whether they realised it was a local derby because they didn't turn up. But I give all the credit to Sunderland for doing that, because they came out the blocks. You know, they started the game really, really well, controlled the game, didn't really create an awful lot, but never looked in danger. You know, Newcastle probably had a 5-10 minute spell where they controlled it a little bit, but then Sunderland took over again. So, you know, it was an amazing day. The atmosphere, honestly, it's getting better and better in that stadium. And you know, I was standing next to Peter Schmeichel, Freddie Lundberg, and Jaap Stam. They were working next to us, and they said afterwards, you know, they played in some big games in their career, and they said that was right up there, the very top of the noises that they've heard in the ground. So credit to the fans.
Yeah. And if you want to hear more, then the talkSPORT Daily is available on all podcast platforms now. Now, 20-year-old Huddersfield lad Charlie Manby had an Ali Pali debut to remember last night.
2-2 becomes 1-1, ironically, and he nails it! And now he can spray the champagne as Charlie Manby chalks up a victory on his World Championship debut. He's living it up. Cameron Menzies can't believe it. He's punching the table. He's furious. Physically assaulting the drinks table. Everything's gone flying. He does afford a little hug to Charlie Manby, but that tells you everything. Kirk Bevan's the referee, telling Menzies to get off stage as quickly as possible. The crowd booing him for his antics there. A dramatic end. And, well, that just tells you everything about what happened. He's bleeding. He's got his blood all over his hand, punching the table there.
Yeah, look, that was Cam Menzies' emotional reaction to defeat. It's made most of the headlines, but let's concentrate for a moment on Charlie Manby, shall we, making his debut at the Ali Pali, and he joins us now. Hi, Charlie.
Charlie, congratulations, pal.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
So how was it? What was it like?
Yeah, it were unreal. Obviously, first time going up there. It were just such a good feeling.
What was the atmosphere like, Charlie? Tell me, because we watch it, we mentioned yesterday, as a family at this period of time, we watch it and we just love it. The atmosphere is absolutely rocking. The place is jumping. Did you have time to enjoy it, or were you just really focused on your game?
Yeah, I think when the draw came out and I were on the afternoon session, I thought it quite suits me, because obviously first time there, and hopefully the crowd's not too loud or too involved, but yeah, it was something else up there. For an afternoon session, it was so loud, and yeah, the atmosphere was great.
It was a close run thing, Charlie, in the end, wasn't it? It took a bit of getting over the line. How relieved were you?
Yeah. Obviously, the hardest double to it is the one to win the game, and yeah, it was just such a relief when that double one went in.
Tell me, getting into darts, Charlie, as a boy, I mean, who did you look up to? What attracted you to the sport in the first place, the first instance?
When I was growing up and started playing, it was always Phil Taylor. He was dominating the game, and then it was like Michael Van Garen were coming through, doing that bit. So yeah, I'd say them, but main one was my dad, really. And my dad just used to take me up to local working men's and got me going, really.
Yeah. And Luke Littler's your mate, is he?
Yeah, I played with Luke through all junior circuits. Played for England together, the youths, and then, yeah, just still talk to him now.
Yeah. Do you practice with him? Do you beat him?
No, I don't practice with him. He's not that far away. He's only an hour away from where I am, so I probably could do, but yeah, he's probably got a busy schedule now.
Tell me, Charlie, I mean, we said yesterday, it was amazing yesterday, because yesterday we had Paul Limon, who was obviously the oldest fella to win a game at the World Darts Championship, and we've got youngsters like yourself coming through. I mean, the age gap, it just shows you in that particular sport, probably more than any, it doesn't matter how old you are, it's just how good you are.
Yeah, definitely. I think, if you're not enjoying the sport at someone my age, then, you've always got the luxury of having 5-10 years off and coming back to it and still doing big things in the game.
Yeah. Look, I mean, obviously, a lot of the headlines have been about Cam Menzies. I mean, were you aware during the game that that was bubbling up inside him at all?
Not really, no. I just try focusing on my own game. I think, people have said, yeah, you can do stuff on stage, but, I think I just sort of needed to play my own game and I'd have been fine. But, yeah, listen, he's probably going through some stuff I've seen on socials, so, yeah, but he's a top player and he's a top lad as well.
Well said, Charlie. Charlie, tell me, mate, I tell you what I'm interested in. What about this wasp, mate? This wasp's been flying about the place for 5 days. Have they not got some killer spray in that place to sort that wasp out? What's going on?
I don't know. I hadn't seen it, luckily, when I were up there. But yeah, it's been flying around everywhere, hasn't it?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know how they know it's the same wasp. I mean, they look pretty similar to each other, don't they?
Well, they don't change their jacket too often.
No, they don't. Who have you got next, Charlie?
I think it's the winner of Matt Campbell and Adam Savada, I think.
Right.
Most important thing, Charlie, how's your boss with the time off? Is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine with it, yeah. He came down with us yesterday and we're on train back last night, and I said, just to let you know, mate, I'm not working tomorrow.
Good on you, mate. Listen, just before I let you go, I mean, I mentioned Paul Lim, but at the same time, yourself, you mentioned Luke, one of the young lads up my way is making great breaks into the game, as Mitchell Laurie as well, young lad from Renfrew. It really is turning. I'm saying you can win at any age, but the amount of youngsters playing the game now, it's just so refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think, in 5-10 years' time, the game will be something else with all these youngsters coming through. And yeah, Mitchell Laurie is absolutely class. Yeah. But people that age need to just keep their feet grounded. Main thing is they need to keep enjoying the game. Then they'll do well.
Brilliant. Well, it's going great for you, Charlie. Enjoy the moment and best luck in the next round, pal.
Good luck, Charlie.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Manby, what a debut of his, just 20 years of age. You make a winning debut at the Ali Pally, brilliant. I mean,
it's amazing when you're looking at, and Paul, spoke to him yesterday. What a smashing fella he was, 71 years of age.
Yeah,
but
But you were right about the kids coming through.
Oh my word! Well, the boy, Charlie said that they had a young lad up here with Mitchell Laurie. He got beaten in the World Darts final by one of the Dutch lads, and he's the youngest player of it. It's just 15 years age.
Yeah, but Barry Earn was saying, we had him in the studio a few months back now, that there are sort of 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds coming through who are just phenomenal. So,
and by the way, a lot of it, they were big, massive thanks to Barry.
Yeah.
Has there been a better marketed sport in the planet in the last 5-10 years? I'm not so sure.
Well, look, I presented the first PDC World Championship, and that was at the Circus Tavern in Purfleet. I think it's back in 1994. And it would be unfair to say that there were two men and a dog there, but you could double that, and that would probably be accurate. Yeah. And the way it has blossomed since then has been
amazing,
been phenomenal.
Wonderful.
Yeah, phenomenal. My daughter's birthday is Christmas Eve, and we always make sure she has separate birthday presents wrapped in birthday paper, which is very nice indeed. I've got another one here. Hi, Jeff and Ali. My dad, John, is an avid Sunderland fan. He is 90 on Christmas Day.
Brilliant.
So he got an early birthday present with
Josh?
Sunday's win. Fantastic.
Happy birthday when it comes, John.
Yeah. Paul, who's a Chelsea fan, says, by the way, if Sir Alex was in charge, Maynard would be playing consistently. He's from the United Youth System, has been compared to Seedorf, an England international, has Champions League experience, competed against the best and scored winners for United. If Amorim doesn't rate him, we'll take another United cast-off. Caicedo plus Enzo plus Mainu. Yes, please. That's Paul, the Chelsea fan in Cumbria. Coming up, we will turn our attention back to Manchester United and ask a question about that man. What are United's biggest problems, and can they be fixed by Kobbie Mainu? That's next.
The Six Nations, where giants do battle and legends are made. Epic sports which demands an epic voiceover every time. And actually has an interesting story as well. It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. The other home nations were a bit jealous, wanted in on the action, and after England played Wales in 1882, they all decided to hold an annual festival of international rugby, or the Home International Championship, which kicked off a year after. Now, the first decade was dominated by England and Scotland until Wales finally won in 1893 and Ireland a year later. After years of dipping in and out of the championship, France was invited to join full-time in 1910. But because France isn't a home nation, they had to give it a rebrand and settle on the Five Nations. But France were actually kicked out of the tournament in 1931. They were accused of paying players when rugby was still strictly an amateur sport. They had to wait years to be let back in. But after World War II, the Five Nations resumed. Didn't always run smoothly though, like in 1973 when all 5 teams won 2 matches and lost 2 matches. Now, because they didn't do points difference at the time, they just decided that everyone was the champion. It's like trying to keep kids happy, you know, the whole, you're all winners. In the years following, other teams in Europe started to get better at rugby and actually got to a stage where they were regularly beating teams in the Five Nations. In 1997, Italy beat Scotland, France and Ireland home and away. So 2 years later, the Five Nations invited Italy in, creating the Six Nations as we know it. In recent years, there have been calls to expand the tournament further to other European teams. Georgia and Portugal have been prime candidates to join of late. It's also been suggested there could be 2 tiers with promotion and relegation to promote growth of the sport in Europe. But the existing nations are a bit reluctant. So for now, it looks like the Six Nations, or Six Nations, or Sei Nazioni, is here to stay.
Good morning. 9:05, Tuesday, December the 16th. It's the last hour before Christmas, sort of.
For you,
it is for me. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling. You'll gather Ali's here as well. Our friends at Arnold Clark get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Just talking about Kobbie Mainoo, George sent an interesting text saying, George from Sheffield, no association to Manchester United. Just thinking of Mainoo at a club like Napoli with the likes of ex-players McTominay and Hoyland. Look at how those two have done now that they've left.
Good point.
United.
Good point.
Well, you could point out Conor Gallagher as well in Spain. So, you know. Look, we shall see what happens to Kobbie Mainoo. He got minutes, obviously, in the game last night. Is that the start of him returning to favour with Ruben Amorim? We'll see. Still to come before 10, by the way, we'll be asking Ali whether Victor Gyökeres is going to have to fight for his place in the Arsenal team with Gabriel Jesus returning. I'll be telling you why I've got some serious concerns, and so does Coisty, about West Ham for the rest of the season. Plus, will Harry Brook have as much of a belter at the crease in Adelaide as he did off the field in Noosa? We'll be hearing from Darren Goff in around 15 minutes' time. And now, though, not even 4 goals at home were enough for Manchester United to win a game at Old Trafford.
Croupy inside the penalty area, left-footed shot into the far corner. It's 4-4, and Manchester United punished for sloppy defending again. It's Croupy inside the penalty area, picking the ball up and sending it into the far corner after another mess up in the Manchester United defence.
If I'm going to be honest, when I just look at them walking around the pitch, there'll be a disappointment there. There's a disappointment in them that they haven't got over the line. They'll be disappointed with the mistakes they made in their defensive play. That Achilles heel they've got at the moment.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Achilles heel, wasn't it? Very inexperienced back three. Well, two of the three were very inexperienced. Lenny Yoro and Aidan Heaven alongside Luke Shaw. United then without a home victory since the end of October. It's 2 points from the last 9. They nearly lost the game, actually, right at the end. Sonny Lammon's making a couple of great saves from David Brooks. After the game, Ruben Amorim told talkSPORT he's happy with the attacking output.
People here, they want to win really bad, and you can feel it, but they also want to feel inspired and to see a team that makes in 1 week 27 shots, today 25 shots. So this kind of games is what they expect, but we need to defend better.
Manchester United up to 6th. Of course, they could have been 4th had they won that game, and it's all ifs and buts.
Yeah.
Actually, it's progress, though, isn't it? You've got to be seeing progress, Coisty, with Manchester United.
Yeah, I do. And I agree with everything the manager said there. I think he's well within his rights to be happy with what he saw in forward areas. And equally, as well to be disappointed in what he saw in defensive areas. I think it's probably as relatively simple as that and straightforward as that concerning last night's game. I think it was. I think forward areas were great.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed watching them going forward. Probably should have been 2-3 up after 35 minutes. And then defensively, they went all over the place.
I mean, it's not going to be an overnight fix, is it? No. And Heaven and Yoro, they're just kids, really. So if you look at the future, you think that they will definitely improve.
Well, they have to. They have to improve. Listen, we're not in the business of giving young players stick, and nor should we be. But and they certainly deserve a little bit of time to get used to the environment and improve, steadily improve. But because of a couple of things, the focus of the position and focus of the club they're at, they're under probably more pressure than most youngsters.
Yeah. And they've been thrown in. Well,
yeah.
In Heaven's case, thrown in much quicker than he would have imagined.
Yeah. And he was culpable for the first goal. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And Yoro has been culpable as well. Bringing down I think a penalty, I can't remember, it might have been at Crystal Palace, doesn't matter. But they should be allowed to make mistakes. The only thing is, I don't know whether people agree with me or not, I think in the back three, they're less protected to a certain degree. I think in the back four, if your full-back sit, then they can get protection a little bit more. I know the argument would be you get one less central defender, but I just think the back four is a little bit more stability. You could argue if you're playing a 3 and your 2 wide men drop back, you've got a 5 for protection, but certainly not Ahmad. I don't think he's defensively minded, but my point being, they should be given time. Right now, with injuries, I get it. They need to be playing. The injuries to Maguire and Dillett and boys like that, they need to be playing. But looking at Manchester United last night, as good as they were in forward areas, and they were very good, they kind of looked at stages, Jeff, they looked all over the place defensively.
Yeah,
all over the place.
They certainly did. Kobbie Mainoo, of course, introduced for the last half hour or so last night.
Yeah.
His half-brother wore a free Kobbie Mainoo T-shirt during the match, a move that, well, some people think risks making a delicate situation even worse. Do you think anybody cares? Think anybody at Man United cares that Kobbie Mainoo's brother was wearing a T-shirt with a slogan on?
The fact that we're talking about it would indicate he's made his point, right? I don't think he should have done it. I don't think it helps his brother one bit, to be brutally honest with you. I just think it kind of drags more attention to the whole situation. I think it was ill-advised. Is he entitled to do it? Yes, he's his brother. You want your brother. Brothers will always stick up for each other, and so they should. I've got 5 sons myself, and I'd want them to look after each other. But I'm not sure it was a great move. I just don't think it was a great move.
Well, Aidan Durham was at Old Trafford last night. He certainly didn't think it was a great move.
He's had some very good times at Man United, a cup final winner, brilliant goal at Wolves, England appearances. He's done so much by the age of 20 and then fallen out of favour. But when you look at this team, if Kobbie Mainoo is the answer, what on earth is the question? And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, look at how they're playing. Does he replace Bruno Fernandes? Not in a million years. Is he a defensive midfielder? No chance. So Kobbie Mainoo, the fans need to stop focusing on Kobbie Mainoo, especially his brother. And can you imagine his brother doing that when Fergie was in charge? Fergie would have had Kobbie Mainoo out of the club by the next morning. It was an utterly insane thing for him to do. It's selfish for him to do that, the brother. It's totally about him getting attention. It doesn't help Kobbie Mainoo, doesn't help Manchester United.
Let's take a couple of quick Manchester United calls. Ryan is a United fan. Morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Ryan.
Morning, gents. You right?
Yeah.
Very well, mate.
Do you want to see Kobbie Mainoo in that starting lineup?
Well, yeah, just some real quick key points, if I may. Steve Bruce is right. Defensively, we look poor. I think I know we've missed Maguire and De Ligt, but Martinez is a big miss as well. Secondly, at 4-3 up, we need to be shutting that game out, and I think it just highlights Amarin's inability to change tact. So we should be shutting that game out at 4-3. With regards to Kobbie Mainoo, he is the future. Casemiro will probably be gone in the summer. Bruno will probably be gone in like a couple of years' time. So he needs to stay. Amarin needs to put his arm around him and say, look, I understand you're frustrated. You're an academy player. You're the future of the club, and you need to stay. So just bide your time. Learn some bits off Casemiro. Learn some bits off Fernandes, and you'll be the future. And just lastly, gents, with regards to our centre-forward play, I thought Mbeumo and Cunha were brilliant last night. I thought we needed a striker in the summer who could come in, set the standards, show the youngsters how to what it is to be a Man United player. Do you know what I'd have done? I'd have gone and got Jamie Vardy. And I know, like a lot of Man United fans, it's been talked about on social media, and everyone's gone, no, he's too old, blah, blah, blah. I'd have just had him for a season and said, look, go and get us 10 goals, go and get us 15 goals, go and show those young players what it is to be a professional footballer, because I'm not sure there was any value out there in the summer for a striker.
Ryan, not daft, mate. Absolutely not daft. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, he's
good call, mate.
Doing okay in Italy as well.
Good call.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, mate.
Let's hear from Dan. Morning, Dan.
Morning, Dan.
Hi, morning, guys. Merry Christmas to you both.
And you, my friend.
Went to the game last night with my lad. He's 11 years old. He's only known misery for Manchester United. But it was great to go last night and to see what was an absolute ding-dong battle. It was absolutely superb. Ryan said everything really I was going to say. There was a lot of positives out there. I think that Mason Mount is looking really sharp again, which is fantastic. He's showing some of that skill of why we brought him in. At the back, I thought Aidan Heaven, when he gets on the ball, he's really rangy. He can move up the pitch quite nicely. He plays it out. He's a little bit naive sometimes, too quick to take it out of play. And Mbeumo, Cunha, the signings we've made, I can't help but feel have been really sensible.
And the goalkeeper.
Good signings. Well, you know what? I've not seen the goals back. I need to look at Lemons a bit more because I don't know if he was at fault last night. And at Old Trafford, of course, there is no screen to watch stuff back.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Semenyo, he took his goal really well. I think on the whole, Bournemouth took their goals superbly. You can't criticise them at all. They took their advantage. They started attacking at the end, and they got their result that they wanted. But on the whole, I can see the positives. I can see things coming together quite nicely. But equally, there is definitely a problem at the back. And as Fergie once said, strikers will score goals, defences will win you titles.
Dan, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dan.
Cheers, guys.
Very quick text. Zane says, bide your time. Talking about Kobbie Mainoo. Bide your time. That's ridiculous. He was flying. He was the main man for England, and now he can't get a game. His career is being ruined sitting on the bench. Zane is a Sunderland fan. Having his say on Kobbie Mainoo. Coming up, we'll turn our attention to the third Ashes test. It gets underway tonight. Darren Goff has said Brendan McCullum will walk if we lose this series 5-0. But does he think England have a chance in Adelaide? We'll find out next.
If his philosophy doesn't work and we lose this series horrendously like we have done the last two there, I think he'll just leave anyway.
Good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Ally McCoist. A text from Pete, who's a City fan in Walsall. Listen to this. He says, festive but true birthdays. He said, my middle name is Joseph. My wife's name is Mary. Our daughter Emma was born on Easter Sunday, 1987. Our son Daniel was born on Christmas Day, 1989.
No, that's a wind up.
No, he says it's absolutely true. Brilliant.
Where was it? Where was the wee man born? Wasn't a stable, was it, Ben?
I don't think there are many stables in Walsall. I'm just guessing, you know, but there we go.
That's brilliant.
Now tonight, 11:30, the Ashes gets back underway, whether we like it or not, really. England 2 down in the series. Harry Brook, though, revealed that the squad have had a lovely break in Noosa between games.
To be honest, we tried to stay away from cricket as much as possible. We just wanted to go there and have a good time, and we had a belting time, and it was probably came at the right time when we're 2-0 down. I know most people won't think that, but to get away from the game and try and refresh as much as possible after a tough start to the series, hopefully that can help us leading into this game.
Well, now what we need from him, according to Ben Stokes, is for him to show a bit of dog. OK, let's get the thoughts of a man. And when we last spoke to him, actually, he was taking his dogs out for a walk. It's a very good morning to Darren Goff. Morning, Goffy.
Morning, Goffy.
Yeah, I won't be out of breath this morning, but I'm OK. But I tell you what, I've got the England top on. Look at this, boys, eh? I'm building up.
You're flying the flag, pal. You're flying the flag.
So how are you feeling going into this one, then? What are our chances?
Well, we're nice and refreshed. We're listening to Harry there. It looks like he's been out on the lash for a week, so he's ready to rock and roll against Australia. He's doing it old school. That's what we used to do back in the day. But look, England have got a good side. I've said many a time, when you look on paper, the first 2 tests especially, on paper, England have got the better team. But for some reason, we didn't use that sporting intelligence you need in any sport, and Australia did. In those moments that matter, Australia came out victorious every single battle, and they're 2-0 up. Now, we've got to do almost a miracle now. It's happened once in Test cricket in 150 years, being 2-0 down. That was 36-37 with the greatest player ever, Don Bradman, came back from 2-0 down. So, it's going to be difficult, but going into Adelaide, you've got to be optimistic. England have got a decent record there. The toss of the coin, I think, is going to be absolutely massive. I remember when we were there in 98, Ali and Jeff. I mean, it was 40 degrees. 41 degrees. We could only bowl 1 over spells. I know that sounds daft, but for one session, they were going to call the session off. And me and Mullally alternated overs. So we bowl 1 over my end, and then he'd come on, and we had the spinner on at the other end. And we did that for a session. Actually, I enjoyed it. I'd like to do that more often.
Goffy, listen, mate. As you know, I'm a half full kind of guy myself, right? However, Lyon and Cummings back to join Boland and Stark. Explain to me why I should remain half full.
Well, yeah, look, on paper, they are a better side. What I will say, if you want to keep it remained half full, is but Lyon's not played and hardly bowled any overs realistically for someone of his talent and the amount of wickets he's got. Obviously, it's going to be there, the experience. But he's been used sparingly by Australia for the last 18 months, and he becomes their second spinner when they go anywhere in Asia, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. He becomes their second spinner. And Cummins hasn't played since July. So if we want to be optimistic, let's look at it. Saying that, would it surprise me if Cummins gets 5 for and Lyon gets 5 for in the second innings to skittle us for 150? No, it wouldn't surprise me. But you've got to be optimistic. And I always believe, and I did as a player, but you've always got a chance to win. Once you stop believing you can win a game, what is the point of even going out there, you know? Yeah. And I think Ben Stokes definitely does that. And it's good to see one of the things we did as an England team way back 97, 98, 99, 2000, when I was probably at my peak, we did have that dog mentality. Yeah. And it was a thing we talked about a lot, and it was a word we used a lot. I'm not telling you the second bit we used of that sentence, but it was a lot of dog in there.
Yeah.
And it's good to see they've brought that back, because without it, it's nothing. And against Australia, you've got to fight. And I think Ben Stokes is a great leader, and the players have got to follow him now. They can't just keep going off on their own tangent. They've got to follow their leader and play the way he does.
Well, you know, Goffy, I mean, if we look back at the first couple of games, look, crushing defeats in the end. But England have been in positions in those matches, especially the first test, you know, where we could easily have gone on and won. So is the gulf as big as people are suggesting?
No, it's not. As I said, on paper, I think the first 2 tests especially, I think England have had the better side. But it's been about those moments you've talked about where Australia have realised that Test cricket is hard. And when you get in those moments, you have to fight through them, and then you can go on and play your game once you've changed that momentum and calmed everything down. But we just keep going out as though we got no care in the world. And like I said, when you get treated where you're going to lose two test matches in 6 days and go on a week's break in Noosa, I'll tell you what, if we lose this one, where are we going next? Maldives?
Coffee, tongue in for Atkinson, no Bashir. That surprise you at all?
The Bashir one does a little bit, purely because Tong doesn't surprise me. I thought he was going to definitely... I think England are going to rotate that squad anyway. I think Atkinson will probably come back in for the next one in Melbourne. Bashir surprised me because they've said numerous times, but England's best spinner is Bashir. Whether you believe that or not, I don't, but whether you believe it or not, he's come out many times and said it. Even the last test, well, the pink ball, our best spinner, number one spinner is Bashir, and he will play when we need him to do that. Now, it's a must-win game, and we're not playing our best spinner. And that tells you it's suddenly gone 3 years of faith in a kid that's played more test matches than first-class cricket, and then suddenly he's been dumped. So it is a bit strange. But saying that, I mean, Will Jacks, I actually thought in the last test showed a bit of spirit and a bit of guts. He bowled okay, but his batting and fielding was excellent. So they've gone for more depth in the batting, haven't they? Similar to Australia, you know. They've gone with Josh Inglis. They could have gone Bo Webster. They could have gone Khawaja, but they've gone for Josh Inglis, the Yorkshire lad, by the way. And they've put him into the side, and he's going to bat that, at 7, with Cummins at 8. So it'll be interesting to see how they operate Australia as well.
Goffy, brilliant. Thanks, mate.
Brilliant, Goffy, lad. You're looking well, my old son.
Aye, I'm getting a tan this lovely weather.
I can see it, mate. I can see it. You're looking well. A lot better than you looked that Thursday at lunch I was with you. But anyway, you're looking well, mate.
And a text from Scott.
Enjoy, mate.
Text from Scott here says, love Goffy. Get him back on talkSPORT every day.
Oh, aye. Brilliant.
Yeah, it says in place of Ali, it says here. Oh, no. Thank you, Goffy. Play gets underway 11:30 tonight. Tune in to talkSPORT Breakfast with the best place for reaction in the morning. Big Island Ali will be joined by Steve Harmison and Mark Butcher, so make sure you join us. A couple of minutes ago, I said, I'm not sure if Walsall have got any stables. And Andy, you're right, Andy. He said, I can't believe, Jeff, you just said I don't know if Walsall has many stables. What are Walsall Football Club called? The Saddlers.
So they are.
And what do saddles go on, and where do you keep them? You're absolutely right,
Yes.
Andy. Who's
Well
a
done,
Leeds
Andy.
fan in Walsall. Thanks very much for that. Up next, another day, another issue with ticketing at the World Cup. We'll bring you more on that next.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Yeah, good morning to you. It is 9:34. Tuesday, December the 16th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with the Arnold Clark app. Everything for your car all in one place. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist. I've got a lovely message on X from Jonesy who says, Jeff, I've had 2 serious breakdowns and very nearly wasn't here. talkSPORT has been a constant help and strength for me. I'm in a great place now and I'm living proof there's a light no matter what. Can you please thank everyone at talkSPORT for doing a better job than you realise? Jonesy, lovely. I'm glad we have been of some help. It's great to hear things are going well for you as well. Here's a quick from Greeno the Postie. Greeno, I hope you got your tips. Have you? I hope so. Just a quick one. He said, do you think Semenyo goes in January? And who do you think needs him the most?
Man United. Well, here's the answer. No, Man United.
You don't think he'll go?
No.
Right.
Well, would you sell him?
No, I wouldn't sell him, but if I'm in his situation, I might be tempted to go.
See, it depends on the contract situation as well, Jeff.
And it depends on the lad's mentality.
Correct.
You know, he might love being the big fish in the smaller pool. He might just love life in Bournemouth. Yes. And if so, that's fantastic for him.
Yep, and I'd take into account the length of contract and all that stuff. Obviously, Ariel would sit down and have a chat with him, a good chat with him. Where is he? What does he want to do? Where does he see himself in the next 2 or 3 years? Has he got the capability to go up and play at the top? Be very careful what I said there, but I'm talking about the top 3-4 teams. Yes, yes, I definitely think he has. I think he's a breath of fresh air. In fact, you and I were speaking about him last night. We really enjoy watching him. Capable of scoring the goals that he did. His opening goal, terrific finish, lovely goal. So, in answer to the question, I still think he'll be there after the window, but it's only a matter of time.
I've got a suggestion for you.
Yes.
How would he fit at Liverpool?
I think the Liverpool fans would love him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you have just, I know you get your wee spoon out there and you've sort of semi-stirred it and you're wanting me to do the full stir, right? You think I'm daft, right? I will do the full stir then. Yeah, he would be a perfect replacement. Was that where you were going?
Yeah, that's what I think.
The Liverpool fans would love somebody like him. He's their kind of player, you know. He's just all action, goes to take people on, capable of scoring great goals. I bet there's somebody who's there at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, Bournemouth fans, they don't want him to leave.
Oh, you better believe
Sean's just texted and said Semenyo's got a release clause in January, so it may not matter what Bournemouth want, think. Sean's a Liverpool fan who says, I would love him. And I think you will be very much in the majority there. I think most of the Liverpool fans will absolutely love him. But we shall see. We shall see. World Cup ticket prices been riling everybody in the last couple of weeks, haven't they?
Come on.
It's emerged that
diabolical.
England have been allocated fewer tickets by FIFA for their World Cup opener than the tournament's smallest nation, Curacao. How about that? England will get 4,022 seats for their first game in Dallas in a stadium which has 80,000 seats.
Terrible.
Curacao got 4,307 for their opening clash with Germany. I mean, it's bonkers.
Terrible. No, well, I mean, that's where there's a complete lack of logic shown, and effectively greed has completely taken over. And it's not probably just happened in the last 4 or 5 months. It's been going on for ages at all sorts of levels. Jeff, it's disgusting. I go back to the true football fans, England boys that travel everywhere, the Tartan Army boys that go. These guys should get big priority. These guys that travel, as I say, we go to Latvia, go to Liechtenstein, they go all over the place.
Yeah.
These guys, in my opinion, should be the priority, right? But FIFA must do something better than they're doing. They're going to have to change it. It is absolutely farcical / scandalous that the people, working class people, who absolutely adore their football. I've been lucky enough to be over to, 5, 6, how many World Cups it may be, whether the Scottish fans travelling, the English fans travelling, particularly the South Americans travelling. They are unbelievable. You mentioned the Mexicans, the Argentinians, the Brazilians. They light up the tournament. And they're working class people. I mean, I'll not forget that World Cup I went to Qatar. Right? We can argue about the pros and the cons, whether World Cup should be there, or World Cup should be Russia, whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is, you look at Mexicans take their families, their entire, there's babies, there's kids. I mean, it's just it's something that as a country and as a nation they don't miss. Now, they will be, along with the Scots fans, English fans, and fans travelling from all over the world, effectively unable, A, to get a ticket, and B, to afford a ticket if they could get one. Now, that cannot be right. That cannot be right. Is corporate gone absolutely mad, insane?
You know, I don't think the regular football fan, the working class man, if you like, is top of Johnny Infantino's priority list.
No, you're right.
I've just got a hunch that's the case. Look, if you are getting excited about the World Cup, don't forget to check out episode 1 of our brand new podcast, How to Win the World Cup. Join comedian Matt Ford, who is brilliant.
He's
absolutely
fantastic,
brilliant,
Matt.
as we dive headfirst into the podcast that will hopefully give us all the answers as we learn what it takes to win football showpiece competition. Let's move on. Cardiff City against Chelsea this evening in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. A lot of the headlines about Enzo Maresca, of course. What happens to him if Chelsea lose tonight? Let's find out if that's a possibility. We're being joined by the former Cardiff City striker, Rob Earnshaw. Morning, Rob.
Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Excellent, guys. I can't believe I'm talking to the dream team again.
Great to talk to you, mate. Great to talk to you.
Talking of dream teams, Cardiff City under Brian Barry Murphy. I mean, it's one of the youngest sides in any of the football leagues.
Yeah.
They're scoring lorry loads of goals, top of League One. What a job he's done.
Yeah, incredible. And do you know what? It was such a chaotic summer last summer for Cardiff City. They sack a manager. Aaron Ramsey came in for the last 3 games to save them. It wasn't the right thing. And then all of a sudden you take weeks and weeks to appoint a man. Nobody who knew it was. Brian Barry Murphy is the man who comes in. And there was question marks whether he was the first choice, wasn't, whatever the decisions were. But it was such a chaotic summer to bring him in. He brought him in and everybody was like, well, let's see what you can do. And he's done an incredible job. I think he's been so good. Do you know what? Three things. One thing, he's guided the ship, settled everything down. He's brought a style of play. And also he's brought in, all he had to work with was youngsters. So those youngsters, he's worked so good with them. I mean, this is a team that has been on fire, top of the league, and flying right now.
You mentioned it all. I was saying to Jeff, we were talking earlier on, it was just fantastic. I mean, Joe Bagan's winner, I think, whatever it was, about the 96 minute. It was just to see the emotion in the stadium between the supporters and the fans. You can't buy that. It was brilliant to see.
So good, yeah, amazing. And you know what? The last time Cardiff were in League One when we got promoted was 2003, and I was there. We were the last team to get promoted out of League One, and just the fan base is incredible at Cardiff. It's it's so unique. I mean, they're so fanatical. I mean, they're diehards. And do you know what? That's what the beauty of football is. 96, 99th minute winner, and your young fullback comes in from nowhere to score the winner. But that's who they are right now. And do you know what? They've scored, I think, at least 3 goals in 5 games this last month. So this is a team who scores goals. So big game for them. It's such a huge game. I remember that 2003 season. We played top of the league, top of the Premier League at the time, Leeds. And they were flying with the Rio Ferdinands and Robbie Fowlers, and all of these guys were playing. And we beat them on that night. And it just, sometimes there's some games where you've got nothing to lose. Go and show yourself. And that's for me, would be my message. Go show yourself. Go show how good you are.
They've got a young fella up front called Yusuf Salek, who's the joint top League One goal scorer. He says he grew up, like a lot of kids did, collecting, cards with footballers on, and he always wanted the strikers cards. Well, he's going to be on one of them soon because he's having some season.
Yeah, he was there. He came in last season, and he had kind of half a season with Cardiff in the Championship. They got relegated, so he was playing in a poor team, really, that just really got relegated and were poor. But he had talent. He even scored a couple of goals last year, but this year I think it's ready for him. He's young as well. I think he's 22, 23. I think he's got 10 goals. But I like him. He's great with his head. That's the number one attribute. But what I do love about him as a striker, I love his movement, because people think, oh, he scored with his head again. It's only with his head. But the key is getting in that position every single time. His movement is great. It's so good. And he's getting deliveries from left and the right. So really, really good player. He's somebody that Chelsea's got to watch out for because he can score goals for sure.
Rob, it's one of these games, mate. I mean, Chelsea, correctly and understandably, will start as favourites. However, if you are a Cardiff player at this moment in time, you are licking your lips for a crack at one of the big, the big teams. It's a game where if you're Chelsea and Enzo Maresca, it's probably one of these games, particularly for Maresca at this point in time, he could really do without.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Tricky for Chelsea. Brilliant for Cardiff. I mean, I might get my boots on and my shirt back on tonight. I mean, I would love this game. I would love to play against Chelsea right now. I mean, you have, a young Cardiff team that's got nothing to lose. They score goals. Yes, Chelsea right now, do you know what? They're an excellent team. And I think Mr. Maresca, I think, is a brilliant manager. But Chelsea right now, they're just... It's so inconsistent, and if you drop off even 5%, that's enough. That's enough for a Cardiff team to think bang, 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 score a couple of goals, and all of a sudden you're walking out. You've lost the game. And this is a great opportunity for both teams to get through to the next round. So Chelsea got to watch out. Listen, Chelsea will be favourites for sure. They should win the game. Whoever they play, whichever team, whether they mix it up and make changes, they should win. But you've got to play at your best.
Wow. And what a result that would be if Cardiff would get through semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Something special. Rob, thanks for joining us.
Great to talk, Rob.
Pleasure.
Cardiff against Chelsea. Our coverage begins at 7. It's live on talkSPORT. Kick off at 8. Coming up, my last section before I go for Christmas. So how better to spend it than talking about the issues at West Ham?
You're doing it yourself.
That's next. Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast final section of this morning's show. Got a text in from Chubby the Window Cleaner. From Wyvie, he says. I think it's called Wibelliscoon. Or Wybelliscoon. He says, good luck with that. Wyvie to everyone else. Well, I'm guessing because it's got Coombe, it's probably somewhere in the southwest, sort of Somerset. Something like that. Don't know, Chubby. I've got no idea, to be honest, mate. I'm guessing. Anyway, he says, I was on a job when Ali started talking about Keith Floyd, who's a legend in these parts.
Oh, he's brilliant.
So when the legendary Ali finally gets his statue, I hope it doesn't end up getting put alongside Plant Pot Joe. Keep up the good work. Love all the shows. Thank you, Chubby. You keep safe as well.
Absolutely.
Mind yourself on those ladders. What do we know this Tuesday morning? Ruben Amorim described the 4-4 draw between United and Bournemouth as fun. It didn't look like he was having fun as he said that, by the way. But he said the first half was the reason they didn't win the game. Rangers moved into third place in the Scottish Premiership with a 1-0 win over Hibs. And because this is my last section of the programme, the producers put in my favourite topic. Oh, God. We're 3 days away from Anthony Joshua taking on YouTuber Jake Paul. Despite the height difference, the weight difference, the fight experience, and everything else, Jake Paul says he's not scared and we couldn't care less.
The weight doesn't matter. The weight's not going to make a difference. It's going to be the skills that win this fight, and I believe my skills are better than his, which is a crazy thing to say, but he's a very basic fighter, and he's gotten to where he's at because of the size and because of the power. So the skills are what's going to win this fight, and he's seen that with Usyk when he fought him, and so I believe it's going to be very similar to that.
And now I teamed up with Team Usyk to improve my skills as well, so we got
as you should. You definitely needed to change coaches.
And we got skills as well.
You definitely needed to change coaches, so I'm glad.
Right. Yeah. Will you be watching? No, don't say you are.
No, I won't be watching.
No. Okay. Good lad.
But I tell you what, firstly, I hope Jake Paul comes out of it healthy. But I hope Joshua knocks him out in the first round. Because anything else is just, I don't know. I don't know. I just find it a little bit of an embarrassment, really, to the sport that I love. And
I said that earlier on, didn't I? You know, I want to return to proper fights.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against these guys having charity fights and things like that. I'm not against them like that. But when you get guys like Jake Paul fighting AJ,
the problem is
there's got to be an element of danger in that, no?
But we're in a minority because he's got millions of followers and they want to see him in the ring, and a lot of them believe that he will beat AJ.
Well, that's why there's pressure on AJ. I really, really do, because I think he's fighting for his own personal, respect and reputation. But I take it a step further. I think he's actually fighting for boxing's reputation, to tell you the truth. I really, really do. I mean, if this guy goes 4, 5, 6 rounds, or the unthinkable happens, imagine what it would do to the state of boxing.
Yeah. No, it's unimaginable. Look, less than 5 minutes, I'll be signing off my last show before Christmas. Let's have a bit of this.
Driving in my car, driving home for Christmas.
The best Christmas song.
No.
This is the best Christmas song. Chris Rea comes from the borough.
I know he does, and I'm North East man, and it's a great song. But don't give me it's the best Christmas song. I mean, it's not Christmas.
What's the best Christmas song then?
Wizard. I wish it could be Christmas every day, because it's a Christmassy song. Do you know what I mean? We need a bit of life. We need a bit of enjoyment, a bit of movement in your Christmas song.
This is a lovely chilled song.
Can
I tell you what?
Christmas is not a lovely chilled time.
Everybody who's stuck in traffic jams on the M1 or the M6 as they're going home, maybe on Christmas Eve, maybe before Christmas Eve, and they're stuck there for hours, and Chris Rea comes on, driving home for Christmas.
That's setting them over the edge.
No, it doesn't. It brings a smile to your face. It brings a smile to your face in difficult circumstances.
Come on, Jeff. What can bring a bigger smile to your face than Roy Wood and Wizard dancing about that stage? There we are. Now, come on.
Yeah, I know, and it's a great song. It is a great song, but I'll tell you what I think is a better Christmas song. The second best Christmas song is Last Christmas from Wham.
Right.
Oh, come on. It's a great Christmas. And by the way, the movie is great as well.
Yeah, do you know something? That is a wonderful song. but it's not, you know what I mean, it's not getting enough in it for me. So just to totally contradict myself, the second best Christmas song is Greg Lake. They think there'll be snow this Christmas. They said there'll be snow. They said there'll be snow this Christmas. Yeah. Oh. See, you can hear the bells and all that, and you can imagine the sleigh going across the snow. That's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
No, you're not buying that one?
No, it's not my favourite. But look, I mean, all your Christmas songs, and actually not just Christmas songs, just watch Love Actually, because it's got one of the greatest soundtracks, one of the greatest soundtracks, and particularly the closing credits, you know, with God Only Knows. It's just fantastic.
It's undoubtedly your number one, I can tell.
Simon has said Fairy Tale of New York, and Simon, you will have a lot of supporters.
Yes, great song.
As well. And by the way, got another one. Gary from the Thatcher's Arms in Brentford says, Jeff is right about Chris Rea. So thank you very much indeed for that. We were going to talk about West Ham, but good news, West Ham fans. We're not going to have time to talk about West Ham.
I have deliberately spouted on about Christmas songs.
I mean, I do not want to tell West Ham fans that you've got 13 points. Last season, at this time, you had 19. I mean, I don't want to talk about that.
Jeff, Jim's going to be on. You've only got 2 minutes to go.
I don't want to talk about the fact you haven't got a clean sheet in any of your last 11 games.
Jim's
coming. Or that you've got Man City away in your next game.
Jim's coming for you.
Just briefly, do you think that West Ham will spend in January? They have to, don't they?
Yeah, I think they have to. I think they've got to. Midfield, a defender. I mean, I think if they play Bowen and Wilson together, I think they've got enough. I mean, I still think they've got enough, but I think they could do with reinforcements in January, yes.
Do you think that Jarrod Bowen might have a Christmas wish list that might be thinking, Liverpool, Manchester, anywhere?
No, Jarrod Bowen's top of Jarrod Bowen's Christmas wish list, and it'd be a big wish, would be to be in Thomas Tuchel's squad for the World Cup. Did I nearly get mixed up in my wish list?
No. I just think we should finish on one very festive, cheerful text, and it's come from Kieran, who says, Fairy Tale in New York, you pair of plums. Merry Christmas, Kieran. Thank you for that. Coisty, have an absolutely brilliant Christmas. I'm back on, I think, January the 29th. December the 29th. December the 29th.
Have a lovely time, mate.
Coming up, it's Whitey and Simon. Join Alan and Ali tomorrow morning from 6. Bye-bye now.
The windows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me.